Welcome in to Oaks Baseball on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. It's a two-man team, Jordan Brunner and Zach Engberg for the Oaks and Academy Barons. Getting the nod today for Caneo is the right-handed pitcher, Reese Matheson. And Reese Matheson has been on some type of run recently. Started the year about as slow as you can. And now he's ready to deliver the first pitch of the game to Trent Anderson and delivers 84 on the outside corner for a strike. Reese Matheson on the year. His ERA still in poor shape at 9.23 in 12 2/3 innings. Drops a breaking ball, but doesn't come down to the top of the zone, 1-1. In those 12 2/3 innings, he's given up 13 earned runs. He's walked 10 and struck out 14. The last few times, though, he's been a lot better. Fouled back. Trent Anderson is leading off for the Academy Barons, followed by Channy Ortiz and Basil Williams. Benjamin Donnerson is hitting fourth, followed by Kendall Ewell. Kendall Pettis after him hitting sixth. Logan Pollock out of Michigan hitting seventh. Alante Hall, the catcher, hitting eighth. And Christian Pock is in left field hitting ninth. Now the set of the 1-2. Outside on what looked to be a floating changeup away, 2-2. Oaks Field. Aaron Suval gets the start in left field for Caneo. Justin Ammons in his everyday spot in center. He's shaded slightly right of dead center right now. Steele Ledford out in right field. Jacob Castro at first and Ramon Gomez at second. And now the kick and the pitch. The 2-2 is a check swing. Did he go? No, he did not go, says our third base umpire. And the count's full. Oedekerk, Tyler that is at shortstop. Will Pickett's getting the start at third, and Zach Kamiko catches behind the plate. You'll notice that a couple regulars are out of the lineup today. Nico Lima and Gabe Baldovino. And the 3-2, Matheson loses him, and the speedy Anderson walks to lead off the ball game and is on first.
The shortstop
Lima tweaked his knee yesterday after attempting to dive for a fly ball, and out of precaution, he's going to be held out of the lineup today.
I think actually the injury, talking to Coach Slees, the injury occurred on Sunday when he was diving for a ball against the Blues, and then yesterday something happened. I think it was in the...
It resurfaced.
Yeah, exactly, which can happen.
New hitter is Channy Ortiz, the shortstop. Ortiz takes 86 high and outside. Just a regular day off for Gabe Baldovino. Anderson only a short lead off of first, and now he takes a step further. Matheson checks in the 1-0 pitch. Runner begins to go, and there's a liner foul down the right side. Ortiz, a .333 hitter, 16 singles, 4 doubles. Trent Anderson is second on this team with 9 stolen bases. He hasn't been caught yet this year and is hitting .267. Extends his lead in the 1-1, but first a throw over. Not nearly in time. The Oaks lost yesterday to the Santa Barbara Foresters by a score of 7-4. And in doing so, moved to 7-13 in the CCL.
But it was a close one.
Oh, it certainly was. Another throw over. Anderson back in safely. Yeah, in the last of the ninth, the Oaks came into the inning down 7-2. Down 5 runs. They scored 2 runs in the frame. And it could have been more. It really could have been more.
It was about 3 inches away from being more.
1-1, runner goes, pitches outside. Castro's throw to second on a hop is too short. Pardon me, that was Kamiko's throw. And Anderson steals his 10th bag of the season. Still yet to be caught, and now he's one shy of Basil Williams for the team lead. Runner in scoring position. Academy Barons have been scuffling recently, to say the least. And the 2-1 pitch. Swing, a fly ball, left side well out of play, and the count's evened at 2 on an 86-mile-an-hour heater for Reese Matheson. Both of these teams chasing a playoff spot in the CCL. The Barons are now in dead last. They've lost 8 straight CCL contests. Foul down the left side on the 2-2 pitch. Believe it or not, both the Oaks and Barons are 8.5 back of the Foresters in first. And they're both 4 games back exactly of the postseason, but the Oaks have the higher winning percentage at 7-13 compared to the Barons at 6-12. All 12 of the Barons' losses have been CCL losses. Granted, they've only played 1 non-league game. And now the 2-2 pitch for Matheson, and he loses a curveball high and outside 64, and the count's full. Most recently, the Barons lost yesterday to the San Luis Obispo Blues. They were blown out 12-2. That was in Compton at MLB Youth Academy. The 3-2 pitch, fly ball right side. This one should go out of play. Ledford chases it, but it's out of play, as I mentioned. David Appleby really struggled, the former Oak. He gave up 4 runs in 4 innings of work, 3 of which were earned. Yuji Sakane really struggled after Appleby. And then Josh Landry and Travis Lavendier finished off the final 3 or so innings. And Slow, well, their dominant rotation went to work yesterday. Noah Huerta, 5 innings of 1-run ball, and he struck out 5 Barons. Full count pitch, high on a fastball, 87. And Reese Matheson has walked the first 2 hitters of today's game. And Coach Solis immediately out of the dugout.
Basil Williams Jr.
And I think this is a good meeting for Coach Solis, Zach, because we've seen Reese Matheson towards the start of outings this year. Not nearly the same pitcher as when he starts to settle into ball games. Coach Solis recognizing that and trying to stop the bleeding before it gets too extreme.
Well, and we've seen Reese Matheson against these Barons specifically have fantastic performances back in their walk-off win on June 15th. He started the game 4 innings, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, no hits in 4 innings of work. So we know that what he's capable of. Coach Solis knows what he's capable of. But again, we've also seen him kind of fall apart when he lets a couple runners on early in his appearances. And against Basil Williams Jr., this will be a big out right here. This will be the first test of the day for Reese Matheson to see if he's got it in the tank today.
New hitter is Basil Williams Jr., the center fielder. 85 is high, and it's 1-0. Basil Williams, so fun to watch. One of my favorites to watch in the CCL. He throws it well, he runs well, barrels it up well. Leads the team in stolen bases with 11, has a .314 average. And the 1-0 pitch. Matheson tries to bring back a 2-seamer, but it stays inside to the lefty, and it's 2-0.
He's got a lot of raw talent, which I think this Barons team is full of. They're just guys with athleticism, guys with, you talk about them toolsy very often. A lot of them are toolsy. They have 1 or 2 things that they're really good at, but they haven't pieced everything together. He above everyone else.
Big hole on the left side for the 2-0 pitch. Swinging a line drive to the left side into left field. Charging in is Suval. He makes the play, throws in to the infield where Castro cuts off the throw near the mound. Everybody advances 1 base, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. The first hit of the ball game, Basil Williams checks in with his 16th single of the season and his 23rd overall hit.
The Oaks got lucky that Oedekerk potentially had a play because Anderson wasn't running initially, and we know he's got the speed. If he's going, he can make it home. And then Suval, with a little bit of danger with his arm in the outfield, they have a chance to potentially stop a scoring play right here if Reese Matheson can get a ground ball.
Benjamin Donnerson has struggled this year, a 182 average, though he's walked 8 times. Ducks out of the way at 84, charging for his head, and it's 1-0. Donnerson, though, half of his hits have been extra base hits. He only has 2 hits this summer, but still a double and a single. That's come in 20 plate appearances and 11 at-bats, the 1-0. He takes again. He'll do that to you. It counts 2-0. He's almost the Daniel Krasnick of this team. 8 walks in 20 plate appearances. That's almost a 500 on base percentage just by walking. And the 2-0 ducks out of the way again on 85, tailing inside, and the count's 3-0.
And it helps him when Reese Matheson clearly does not have his control today. A lot of pitches. We've seen already 2 this at-bat up and in. He's missing the zone a lot. Already walked 2 guys, potentially going to walk in a run right here.
Now the set, the 3-0 big pitch for the Oaks and Matheson. Fastball and for a strike. Reese Matheson from Glendale City College. Had a great year last year, 17 innings and a 2.65 ERA. Glendale City College, more than a lot of the other junior colleges in the area, really develops their pitchers. But out there, Reese Matheson, his 3rd walk of the inning, walks in the game's first run. Anderson scores. Channy Ortiz to 3rd, Williams to 2nd, and the bases are still loaded with nobody out for Kendall Ewell. Not what you want to see from Reese Matheson, who had been so much better in his recent starts. Last time we saw him against the Orange County Riptide, one of the top teams in this league, Matheson went 4 innings of 2-run ball, and only one of those runs were earned. Swinging a fly ball out to deep left field. Suval chasing it, looks over his head, and a 1 hops the wall in left center field. Ortiz scores, Basil Williams Jr. scores, and there's the big hit, a 2-run double. It's 3-0 Barons, and they're off to a good start after losing 8 straight. This has got to feel really good for Ken Landreau and his ball club.
Kendall Pettis.
We know they have the potential. We know they have the talent. Sometimes, and we've seen this with the Oaks before, sometimes when you're struggling offensively, you have an inning or 2 of just aggressive hitting and just kind of unleashing all that pent-up energy that you have when you're not hitting well. And they've done it so far today. A couple walks, a couple hits, and that big 2-run double from Kendall Ewell.
Great swing for the first baseman for the Academy. And first pitch ball to Kendall Pettis, the 2nd straight Kendall in the lineup. Kendall Ewell, that was his first at-bat of the summer.
That's how you want to start.
At least according to the stats on the website. And the 1-0 is in there. A called strike at 84 on the inside corner. Kendall Pettis, the current hitter, 256 with 11 hits, 2 singles, and 9 doubles. And the 1-1 misses outside. Pardon me. 11 hits is what it's listed as. However, it only says that he's hit singles this summer, of which he has 9.
Something doesn't add up.
Well, that's how it goes sometimes. 2 on, nobody out. The 2-1 pitch. Swinging a foul at 85 as Pettis goes the other way. Kendall Pettis out of Chicago, Illinois. University of Oklahoma commit. Waves his bat and awaits the 2-2. Matheson gears back and fires inside. And once again, a 3-ball count. It's full. July 3rd from Sparky Anderson Field. 4th of July tomorrow. You know what that means. You're in for a history lesson today. And the 3-2 pitch, swinging a foul back behind home and off the screen. And, well, I don't know if everybody's interested in history, but you're going to get it anyway. Zach, I see you looking away right now. What's going on?
I'm a history buff.
You're a history buff?
Absolutely.
All right. Counts full. Still nobody out of the inning. Ewell is on second, Donnerson is on third, and the pitch is fouled back. Again, Logan Pollock is on deck for the Academy Barons. They're going to go with Noel Soto in the bottom half of the frame. 449 from Thousand Oaks. Wind slightly out to right field. Actually, I'd say it's more than slight. Probably 8 to 10 miles an hour. 3-2. Pettis chases a high heater, but gets a piece of it to stay alive. And that's really a pitch at this level that is so important for hitters to know how to approach it. Because in JC, even in Division I college ball, you're going to see a lot of mid-80s, maybe high 80s. You'll be able to turn that around if you have quick hands. And the 3-2 breaks outside, and Reese Matheson has walked his fourth batter of the inning, and the bases are loaded for Logan Pollock. Anyway,
still nobody out.
Here comes Coach Solis for his second mound visit of the inning. My point being, it's so important at this level to learn how to lay off of that high fastball. Because if you're going to play against the cream of the crop at the highest level of Division I, the Texas Techs, the Ole Misses, the Mississippi States, as we see a pitching change, you need really quick hands to turn around a high heater. That's not going to be 85 like you see in JC. It's going to be 92, 93. Anyway, we're going to see a new pitcher come in for Reese Matheson, who does not record an out. The bases are loaded. The score is 3-0 Academy. Stay with us. Plenty more baseball on the Conejo Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Back here on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network, Logan Pollock is up at the bat for the Academy Barons. And the Oaks, they found themselves in some early rough waters. Bases are loaded, and the Barons already have a 3-0 lead. Nobody out in the frame. Reese Matheson didn't record an out, gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, all earned, and walked 4. Pollock attacks the first pitch, grounds one down the left field side, pops up off the third base bag. 1 run coming in to score. Behind him is Ewell, and that's a 2-run single for Logan Pollock. And now it's 5-0 Academy. Donnerson scored from third, Ewell from second, and a 5 spot for the Barons here in the first inning. Just brutal for the Conejo Oaks.
The catcher, number 26, Alante Hall.
Guillermo Pinedo, teammates with Reese Matheson last year at Glendale City College. Actually, pardon me, Pinedo entering his freshman year out of John Marshall High School. Pinedo, we've seen him once, and he was very good. He went 3 scoreless innings in his first appearance of the summer, gave up 3 hits and walked a batter, but remained unscathed. Bases are not loaded, but runners on second and first as the first pitch is fouled back from Alante Hall. Alante Hall, 185 hitter with 5 singles on the summer. He's only played in 8 games for the Barons.
I think this is the first time that the Oaks are seeing him. I don't remember him playing before.
I think you're right. Huge jump off of second for Pettis. The throw from Kamiko goes up the third baseline. Pettis scores all the way from second, and the disastrous inning continues. It's 6-0 Academy. And over to second moves Pollock. Just take a look at the Oaks dugout. Zach, see if we can get a shot of this. Heads are down. This is not what you want to see in the first inning of a ball game. Anyway, you get the idea. Hopefully, I painted a good enough picture for you. Swinging a foul to the right side.
I mean, you can only imagine, or you can imagine pretty well how a team would react down 6-0, having yet to record an out in the top of the first inning, already blowing through 2 pitchers in their bullpen. It's not going to be good.
No, well, you could say that 3 more times. Breaking ball low, 2-2. Yesterday's ball game, the Foresters, they really wanted to win that game. They brought out a lot of their best arms. Saw some A+ stuff from some of those guys. And the 2-2, swinging a line drive into center field. Ammons charges, watches it drop in front of him. Held at third is Pollock, and their runners on the corners with still nobody out of the frame. This is almost hard to believe. The Barons are about to bring up their 9th hitter of the inning, and the Oaks haven't recorded an out yet. It's a long game, but talk about a way to open up a ball game.
This is similar. Just a couple days ago, in the top of the 4th, or the bottom of the 4th inning, the Saints dropped a 7 spot on the Oaks, a 2-run homer, a grand slam against Aiden Dolan before they even recorded an out.
Runners on the corners, nobody out for Christian Polk. A little tapper to the left side, foul from the left fielder. Polk, 273, 4 singles, 2 doubles. On the corners, the 0-1, down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kamiko loses it briefly, but recovers. Pivotal stretch of games for the Oaks. Yesterday they fought hard. Scored 2 runs in the 9th to make it interesting. They brought the winning run to the plate. 1-1 chopper to first. Castro tags the bag. The throw to second. Caught in a rundown between second and first is Alante Hall, and he's tagged out. Coming in to score is Pollock, and it's 7-0. But the Oaks get 2 on 1 play. 2 gone, bases empty. 7-0.
The second baseman,
Academy
number 1,
Barons.
Brent Anderson.
Jacob Castro stepped on first, elected to go to second. Not sure if he would have had to play at the plate, but that was definitely an option for him. Decided to get the second out. But a run score, 7-0. At least they get a couple outs right there.
Only 4 hits in the inning. Which doesn't sound like much, but it's something. Line drive into left center, another hit. That's the 5th of the frame. Anderson trying to stretch it to a double, and he's in safely standing up. He reaches for the 2nd time in the inning.
The shortstop, number
The
7,
first on a
Shane
walk,
Ortiz.
the second on a stand-up double the other way. What a start for a ball club that has just been scuffling over the last week plus. This is far from expected, Zach, after the way yesterday's game went. Fly ball, foul territory, left side. Pickett's near the coaching box, makes the catch, and ends the disaster of the top of the first. It's already 5 o'clock. We've played baseball for 25 minutes. If you're just joining us, well, you missed a 7-run inning on 5 hits, no errors in the inning, and a runner left at second. 7-0 Academy. The Oaks, they got their work cut out for them. We'll give you their lineup and their first bats when we come back on the Conejo Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Ammons.
Bottom of the first inning from Spark Anderson Field. Justin Ammons, the center fielder, leads off for the Conejo Oaks. Ammons has been scuffling a bit at the plate recently after getting off to a major league start to the summer. Digs in from the left side, and Noel Soto, the righty, takes a deep breath and offers the first pitch, a fastball for a strike. After Ammons will be Tyler Oedekerk and Jacob Castro. Ryan Yamashiro cleans up for the Oaks. Will pick its fifth. Steele led for its sixth. Soto shakes off the sign, and the 0-1 is in there for another strike at 76. It's 0-2. Ramon Gomez at second, Zach Kamiko at catcher, and Aaron Suval 7, 8, 9 in the order. Outside on the 0-2. Barons wearing their all gray uniforms with high blue socks and a blue cap, blue lettering across the shirt, and the 1-2. Down and outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ammons. Now the set from Soto. And the 2-2 pitch. Ammons swings at a breaking ball and fights it off foul. We've seen Noel Soto a little bit this summer. We'll get more on that in a while. His overall numbers on the summer, 15 innings. He has an ERA of 6 after giving up 14 runs. The righty struck out 15 and walked 9. Now the set in the 2-2. Curveball again, and Ammons again stays alive. Field for the Academy Barons. Christian Polk in left field. Basil Williams in center. He's the everyday guy there. Kendall Pettis in right field. Kendall Ewell's at first, and Trent Anderson at second. Hard hit grounder to the right side. Right of the bag and foul. Channing Ortiz at short. Logan Pollock at third. Alante Hall doing the catching for Noel Soto. The 2-2 to Ammons. Ground ball to the right side. Over to get it is Ortiz. Has to hurry, but gets Ammons by a step for the first out. And Justin Ammons, his 275 average will dip a little bit below that number after that first at bat. Tyler Oedekerk is next for the Conejo Oaks. 243 on the summer with 12 hits, 2 doubles, and a home run. It's the RBI leader for the Conejo Oaks with 12 on the summer. Had himself a good game yesterday. Takes 65, which is a ball that bends in for a strike. Oedekerk hit 9th yesterday. Reached base 3 different times, including an RBI single and a stolen bag in the second and the 0-1. Another bender, this one low, 1-1. Walked in the 7th inning and scored in the 9th inning after reaching on an error by the left fielder Ross Cadena. A ball and a strike to the righty. Oedekerk dips down in the stance and takes 80 outside, 2-1. Coach Solis making a change. Oedekerk into the number 2 spot. That error by Ross Cadena led off the 9th inning for the Conejo Oaks, and the 2-1 is again high, 3-1. Ramon Gomez came up to the plate with the Oaks down 3 and the bases loaded. And hit a line drive that looked destined for the right center gap. And the 3-1, a good curveball, Oedekerk out in front of it and taps it foul. The count's full. It was destined for the gap off of Gomez's bat. And had it hit the gap, it was likely that 3 runs would score, as Steele Ledford was the runner on first base, and he has as much speed as anybody on the Conejo team. And the 3-2. Curveball, backdoor, actually front door for the strikeout. And 2 gone here in the frame. Nasty pitch from Noel Soto.
The first baseman, number
locked
24,
in to start this game off.
Castro.
Anyway, back to Gomez, finishing off this story. Hit it into the gap. Eric Kennedy, the all-world center fielder for Santa Barbara, laid out and robbed him of extra bases. And to just dive one step deeper into this play, had that ball gotten by Eric Kennedy and into the gap, maybe all the way to the wall, Blake Hall, the right fielder, Ross Cadena, there's no way they were there to back up that play before the Oaks got at least a triple, maybe even an inside-the-park home run. So was swung on and missed, and it's 1-1.
It would have basically guaranteed an extension of the game, not only to the next batter, but potentially to extra innings unless they ended it right there. And instead, Eric Kennedy, talk about a great play.
1-1 is high to Castro, 2 balls and a strike. It was, you need a little bit of luck to beat the Foresters, and yesterday wasn't there. Foresters, give them credit. They played a full game yesterday. Got all of their runs in the second, or the third and fourth inning. At least most of them. They added on a couple in the 9th. 3 balls and a strike to Castro in his first plate appearance today. He's hitting .293 on the summer with 13 singles and 2 doubles. And he walks as that breaking ball stays outside. And a runner on for the Oaks with 2 gone. And here's Ryan Yamashiro.
The designated hitter, number 32, Ryan Yamashiro.
As hitters have gone through slumps and streaks of incredible success at the plate, Ryan Yamashiro has stayed consistently terrific this summer. .346 average with 18 hits, 13 of them singles. He has 3 doubles and 2 home runs, including the one we saw on Sunday, which was the ultimate game winner, a 2-run shot. Takes high on 73. That home run for Ryan Yamashiro came up in San Luis Obispo. It was in the 8th inning, where the Oaks were down by a run, and after that swing, which scored Baldovino, the Oaks were up by a run. And Clay Rickerman closed the door. sealing what was a great win entering the off day for the Oaks. 1-0 beams Yamashiro on the back. And he's tough about it. Jogs over to first base, and the Oaks have 2 on with 2 outs for Will Pickett.
Third baseman, number 6, Will Pickett.
Castro on second. And here's that Lonzo ball in the background. Gotta love it. Pickett's 174 with 4 hits, 3 singles, and a double. Two on, big spot for the Oaks. Pickett takes a strike.
Come on, Will.
Noel Soto from Long Beach City College. Just finished his freshman year. And the 0-1 pitch, Pickett's takes. Well located fastball at 88. Just skimming the outside corner. No shot for Pickett's unless he was sitting on that pitch. Soto went 33 innings with a 4.91 ERA. Started 3 games, saved a couple more, went 1-4. 12 total outings. Now he sets, trying to get through a clean first. 0-2 with 2 on. 7-0. He's got plenty of room to work with. And he's outside on an 83-mile-an-hour heater.
Yeah, platinum. Yeah, platinum.
1-2. Checks the runner at second and deals. Curveball skied way up in the air to shallow center. Trent Anderson behind the bag and on the cut of the outfield grass makes the catch to retire the side. Pop up to 4. And in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors. A couple left for 1 full. It's Alt Academy. 7-0 Barons on the Conejo Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Top 2, and Basil Williams leads off for the Academy Barons. Singled and scored in the first. And takes that one off the plate. 1-0. Talked a little bit about presidents last week on the second Democratic debate. Or on the night of it, as the 1-0 is outside. 2-0. And with July 4th tomorrow, and the Oaks having an off day, I thought we'd talk a little bit more American baseball. So 2-0 is low. Start off with July 4th in baseball history. And that pitch is called a strike. First of all, these days, the one team that always has a July 4th game are the Washington Nationals. And the 3-1 is fouled out of play. They love to play early on the 4th of July. They'll be playing at 11:05 a.m. this season. Just a tradition in the nation's capital, honoring America. Okay. First, the 3-2 is outside to Williams, and he walks to lead off the second. He's on base for the second time today.
The designated hitter, number
2006 on July 4th,
Doderson.
Nomar Garcia Parra tied the major league record for amount of times hit by a pitch in a game. 3 times. And I can tell you, at the July 4th barbecue after the game, I'm sure he had a couple more beers than usual. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. I guess I can't tell you that for a fact. That's purely speculation.
Sources say.
Sources say. I'm an NBA reporter. Sources say. Doesn't mean anything. 0-1. Williams leads the team in stolen bags with 11. It's a big lead, and the 0-1 misses a ball and a strike. Back in 2001 at the Ferris wheel at Comerica Park during the Detroit Tigers Kansas City Royals game, as that pitch is fouled back 1-2. So there are 50 people stranded on the Ferris wheel. They're rescued after 2 hours by firefighters and emergency crews. They used a fire truck ladder, and the inconvenienced fans as there's a throw over to first. Back in safely is Williams Jr. Those inconvenienced by this event, they all received tickets to another game, free dinner, and autographs. Ground ball through the middle, another single. Benjamin Donnerson on base for the second time, and Williams Jr. goes first to third. Runners on the corners, nobody out against Guillermo Pinedo. 2 on, nobody out.
The first baseman, number 35, Kendall Ewell.
In 1985, there was a 19-inning game. It lasted until just before 4 in the morning on July 5th. Swing, and that ball hits Kendall Ewell on the shoulder. And the bases are loaded with nobody out. Second hit by pitch of the ball game on both sides, as Ryan Yamashiro was plunked in the first, and the bases are loaded.
The right fielder, number 15,
Donnerson to
Kendall
second,
Pettis.
and here comes Kendall Pettis. He walked and scored in the first, in that 7-run first. And it looks like the Barons are well on their way to scoring a few more in this inning. That 19-inning game, Mets and Braves. And the Mets won at 16-13 after 6 hours and 10 minutes. And the final 1,000 fans who toughed it out, as there's a fly ball to a very shallow left field. Oedekerk shielding the sun, and Suval coming in loses his cap. Oedekerk makes the call and makes the catch for the first out. So the 1,000 fans that stayed
number 25, Logan
at the ballpark were treated to some sunrise fireworks just before dawn. If any of the neighbors of the ballpark, who had been fast asleep presumably for hours, were quite frightened when they heard those fireworks early in the morning of July 5th, 1989. Swing and a pop-up right side. This one off the bat of Logan Pollock, and near the coaching box on the right side, Jacob Castro hauls it in for the second out of the frame. So Guillermo Pinedo loads him up on a walk single and hit by pitch, and since gets 2 jam shot pop-ups for 2 outs in the frame. Valante Hall, who singled in the first inning, is up for his second plate appearance.
The catcher, number 26, Alante Hall.
Looks like Alante Hall is just going to use the bat that Logan Pollock just used. Appreciate you joining us on the Conejo Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network, whether you're a fan of the Oaks, whether you're a fan of the Academy Barons, or whether you're just a fan of some summer collegiate baseball. Pitches inside. It's 1-0 to Alante Hall. Feel free to respond to any of the junk that we're saying on the broadcast. 1-0 is high, 2 balls, no strikes. Love hearing from our viewers. And if you have any recommendations, stories that we could tell, players to talk about, we're all ears. 2-0, swing and a miss, 78, diving towards the knees. A good pitch from Pinedo, and it's 2-1. Oaks are off tomorrow for the 4th of July. And a tapper back to the mound. Pinedo picks it up, tosses to Castro at first, and strands the bases loaded. Who knows? That could turn out to be a big buckle down and ending of an inning for the Oaks later in this ball game.
Maybe even a turning point.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. So after loading the bases on a walk, single, and hit by pitch, Pinedo gets 2 pop-ups and then a ground out to end the frame. No runs on a hit, no errors, and the Barons leave them loaded. Bottom 2 when we return on the Conejo Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Steele Ledford in the bottom of the 2nd inning for the Conejo Oaks. The 6, 7, 8 part of the lineup for the Oaks. Oaks stranded a couple runners in the bottom of the 1st inning. And now Steele, who feels fully healthy after injuring his shoulder this past year, is excited for his first at-bat. Wide open stance against Noel Soto, who kicks and offers. The first pitch is in there for a strike. And it's 0-1. And the 0-1. Outside, a ball and a strike.
The 2nd straight game between the Barons and the Oaks that Noel Soto has started. Started also last weekend, last Friday. The Oaks 7-6 win.
Now the 1-1 home. So we're going to fly ball left side, very shallow. In fact, the infielder, the shortstop, Channy Ortiz, squeezes it for out number 1. And that is the 2nd straight pop-up from an Oak-hitter.
Ramon Gomez.
As Pickens ended the 1st inning with a pop-up to 2nd.
Soto in that game went 3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. So he's already upgraded his performance today.
First pitch strike to Ramon Gomez. Gomez hitting 170 on the season with 9 hits, 6 singles, 2 doubles, and a home run, which actually came against the Academy Barons. 0-1 chopper left side, and foul. Zach Kamenko taking some hacks in the on-deck circle. And the 0-2. Tight on 84, 1-2. One-two pitch drops low. Good eye from Gomez, and the count's evened up. 2-2 pitch, another roller foul. On July 4th, 1960, you might have heard of him, Mickey Mantle hit his 300th career home run.
Who?
Mickey Mantle.
Mantel?
Yeah. I think that's his name. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. 83 elevated for the second strikeout of the game.
The catcher,
for Noel
number 7,
Soto.
Zach Kamiko.
Yankees retired Lou Gehrig's number, his number 4 jersey. First old-timers day in Yankees history back in 1939.
I think that was also the day of his famous speech, July 4th. I want to check to make sure, but I believe it was.
Zach Kamiko lays off a curveball that stays high. While you check on that, Zach, I'm going to talk a little bit about tennis, because if you're talking about the history of sports on July 4th, you can't leave out Wimbledon. And the 1-0 is in there. It's 1-1. Billie Jean King defeated Gulagan Kali in almost straight sets. Won 6-0, 6-1 in what would prove to be her first Grand Slam title. Inside, 2 balls and a strike. And that's right. July 4th, 1939.
I'm the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Still get chills when I watch that speech.
2-1, knocked into left center field. This one is destined for the gap. It rolls all the way to the wall. Kamiko hustling around second. He'll be held there by Mark Fitzgerald at third. How about that swing from Zach Kamiko? And a 2-out double for the Caneo Oaks for Zach Kamiko. That is his 7th hit of the season and his 3rd double.
And this is the trade-off when we saw yesterday Daniel Krasnick threw out 3 runners, and we saw for Zach Kamiko the first time that he attempted to throw out a runner, it ended up scoring a run for the Barons. But on the flip side, Kamiko's got a little bit extra juice behind the bat that Daniel Krasnick may not have, so that's the trade-off when you make that decision.
Left fielder Aaron Suval takes a strike at 83. Suval yet to get a hit in his 2 games played, 6 at-bats. 6 plate appearances and 5 at-bats, I should say. And he has walked once, and he stole a bag. Made his debut against the Barons earlier this week in Compton. And the 0-1 is low. A ball and a strike. John McEnroe defeated Bjorn Borg after he lost to Borg the previous year. That was his 3rd Wimbledon trophy. 3rd Grand Slam trophy, excuse me. And the count is now 2-1. Not a whole lot of sports history on July 4th, and that's because, well, people are out doing other things. Hit hard into right field on the run, and making the catch is Kendall Pettis. That one was hit really hard from Suval, but nothing to show for it in the inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, and a runner left in scoring position. The Oaks have stranded 3 and are losing 7-0 through 2 against the Barons. Top of the 3rd when we come back on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Poche.
Top of the third inning, Christian Poche, I believe it is pronounced. I had been saying poke or poke. If anybody knows for sure, please let me know. We will make sure in the next half inning to get it right. Curveball in for a strike. Poche hit into a double play in the first inning. For actually the first 2 outs recorded of the ball game. Outside, 1-1. And the double play came after 7 runs came across the score. So it's not like it was life or death for the Barons. And the 1-1 is inside and low, 2 balls and a strike. They call baseball the national pastime. 2-1 pitch. It is called a strike, 2-2. Seems just, you think of America and American history, especially 20th century. The connection is evident. 2-2 is outside, 3-2. You think about some of the greatest players of all time in the early 30s who were actually fighting in world wars also. And the 3-2, skied right field, coming in Ledford, and he makes the catch for the first out. There are a lot of players who sacrificed the prime of their careers fighting for the country. So, obviously, any veteran sacrifices an incredible deal, as that is a bunt attempt from Trent Anderson, laid down, foul down the third base side. Maybe not more so, but I think important to acknowledge the sacrifice that guys like Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio made in being veterans. Because sure, they're sacrificing for their country, but they're also sacrificing, you know, some of the best years of their career. 0-1, curve in for a strike. It's 0-2. DiMaggio enlisted in the Air Force on February 17th, 1943, Special Services. Stationed in California, Hawaii, New Jersey during his service. 0-2 is high and outside to Anderson. This is already his third plate appearance of the game. He's 1 for 1 with a double to left field, a walk, a run scored, and a stolen bag. So he's been busy, to say the least. And the 1-2. Swings and chops on right side. This will be a tough play for Castro. The ball rolls foul at the final moment. And Anderson will come back to the box for another 1-2 pitch. DiMaggio was medically released from service in 1945. He had chronic stomach ulcers. He actually played baseball on military teams to help the morale of different soldiers. Jackie Robinson is obviously known for breaking the race gap in professional American sports by joining the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1947. He was also an Army member in the early 1940s. In 1942, on April 3rd, as the 1-2 is outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes, he was commissioned a second lieutenant. Well, actually joined the Army in 42, became the lieutenant in 43. Received honorable discharge in 44. Hard grounder right side, outside the bag, foul. Count still 2-2. He had been arrested and court-martialed for actually protesting segregation by refusing to move to the back of the bus during Army training. He was acquitted of all charges. And the 2-2 ground ball, diving stop at second by Gomez, but the ball goes into right field. Anderson thinking about trying for his second hustle double, but thinks better and turns back to first. And now he's 2 for 2 with a single, a double, a walk, and a mess in my scorebook. And a runner on with an out here on the top of the third for the Barons.
He's halfway to the cycle.
Yeah, but the easier half. Pitch is in the dirt from Guillermo Pinedo, and it's 1-0 to Channy Ortiz, who is 0 for 1 with a pop-up to third in the second inning. Also walked and scored his first time up in the first. And now the 1-0. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Ted Williams, left fielder for the Red Sox, was drafted into the military in 1942. Tap foul, 2-1 off of the bat of Ortiz. Basil Williams Jr. is on deck. 7-0 Barons in the top of the third. A 2-1 count with 1 out in the frame. He received a deferment because he was the only one who could support his mother. 2-1 becomes 3-1. That pitch is low. Later that year, he enlisted in the Navy Reserve and was called to active duty in November of 1942. 3-1 ripped down the right field side, out of play, as Anderson was on the move and the count's full. He was never called into combat, came back to baseball in 1946. He was called back from his inactive reserve to fight in 1952 in the Korean War. And that's going to be a walk on the full count pitch. Ortiz tosses his bat back to the dugout and jogs on to first. 2 on with an out of the frame for the dangerous Basil Williams. Williams singled to left field and scored in the first inning. Walked and advanced to third in the second. Now up for his third at-bat here in the third as Coach Solis goes to the mound to talk to Guillermo Pinedo. Arrived in Korea in February of 1953 as a Marine fighter pilot, and then returned to baseball again in 1953. So as we celebrate July 4th this week, I think it's important to understand the connection between baseball and our country, but also that many of our game's greatest and brightest, most impactful stars also made the ultimate sacrifice.
I mean, we think of a lot of these guys nowadays. You know, you look at Mike Trout, Manny Machado, Bryce Harper, all signing $300+ million deals. We think of them as superheroes, as guys that are, you know, bigger than us. But you see back in the day, Joe DiMaggio, Ted Williams, Jackie Robinson, these guys are, you know, they're making the same sacrifices, even not more so, but making the same sacrifices that, you know, a lot of these guys today maybe don't have the opportunity to make, or, you know, and they didn't have the money that these guys nowadays have. It's important to keep that in the back of your mind.
Some food for thought as we head into the July 4th holiday tomorrow.
Your attention, please.
For now,
pitching
change. Guillermo Pinedo is out, and Charlie Bellinson takes over. We'll take a quick break as he warms up and come back with 2 runners on and an out in the frame. Basil Williams Jr., the batter, on the Canal Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Charlie Bellinson, number 17, is in the game for the Conejo Oaks. And he comes in to face Basil Williams Jr. with 2 on and an out. Trent Anderson, the speedster's on second. Channy Ortiz, the shortstop, is on first. Only an out in the inning for Bellinson, who comes into this game with 11 1/3 innings of work on the summer. Little nubber foul down the third base line, foul. 4.76 ERA, 8 strikeouts, 7 walks. Six earned runs. Now the set from Bellinson and the 0-1. Ground ball to first. This one's foul as it draws right of the first base bag. Take a look around the CCL. Forrester's still in first place. They've won 5 in a row. They're 15-4 in the CCL with a .789 winning percentage. Orange County right now is in sole possession of second place, having the better winning percentage than Arroyo Seco. Bellinson throws back to second where Anderson was taking a big lead, but he slides head first back in safely. Arroyo Seco in third place. They've lost 1 in a row. They are 11-9 with a .550 winning percentage, and the 0-2 is inside, a ball and 2 strikes. Slow Blues in fourth. The Oaks are a game and a half behind them. They're 8-11, and they've won 2 straight after dropping Sunday's game to the Oaks. One-two pitch. Outside, a changeup, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 76 fading outside. Had a conversation with Coach Solis after yesterday's tough loss, and really gave me the same, he gave us the same treatment that he usually does after a loss. And the 2-2's low, 3-2. Especially when it's tough, he'll turn his head a little bit to the side. He'll give you an exhale. Tough one. Every game, it's the same thing.
I feel like I've heard that at least 5 or 6 times this summer, if not more.
Counts full, 2 on. Both runners go, swinging a fly ball left side. This one will probably get out of play. Pickett has a look, but runs out of room. And indeed, it is out of play, and the count remains full.
And, you know, I don't blame him considering the way that you lose the game they did yesterday, just facing dominant reliever after dominant reliever, having guys throw 95, 96, having a chance down 5, a couple runs in the bottom of the 9th, and then you get a play that could be a game-tying, game-winning hit, and you just get a big league ball player making a big league ball play in center field.
3-2, runners move again. Line drive into center field, a base hit. Anderson could walk home if he wanted. Instead, he jogs in and taps home. It's 8-0 Academy Barons. First to third goes Ortiz on Basil Williams Jr.'s second hit of the game. He's now 2 for 2 with a walk and an RBI. That one straight up the chute to center. A run across here in the third, and already 2 hits, only 1 out, which came on Christian Poches. Fly out to right. Benjamin Donnerson, 1 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Hits here, swings and is jammed on the first pitch fastball. Lifted behind home and out of play. But after Coach Solis's "that was tough," I think he said something that's been on everybody's mind who has followed the Oaks on a daily basis. That they are able to compete with every team on a daily basis in this league. Runner goes from first, and Basil Williams steals his team-leading 12th bag of the season. Second and third with an out and a 1-1 count to Donnerson as that pitch missed.
Even in a game like this, down 8-0, they haven't got anything going in defense, and on the mound they've been struggling. Defensively, they've been struggling. It still feels like they're somewhat in this game. I mean, we saw them on Friday against the Saints. They were down 12-4, and they crawled back within 2 runs before a three-run inning late for the Saints. So down 8, it still feels like they have a chance.
1-1 pitch is low. And it is 2 balls and a strike. So Basil Williams creeps a little bit closer to the top spot in the CCL with stolen bags. Eric Kennedy has that nod with 14 on the season as 2-1 misses inside. Foul back. Counts full, 3-2. So Williams only 2 back of the CCL lead. And Coach Solis was hopeful after the 9th inning comeback yesterday, in which the Oaks put together a rally against perhaps the most dominant bullpen in the Southern Division of the CCL. I would argue it is, with Riptide and the Slow Blues close behind. That's a walk, a second of the frame for Bellinson, and the bases are loaded with an out of the inning for Kendall Ewell. He said it gave him confidence that the Oaks are able to fight back late in games against the Foresters, because that shows you that they have that clutch gene. The gene that perhaps prevails more than others for championship runs. Swing and a miss at 84, right by the swinging bat of Ewell. He's 1 for 1 with a double to left field and was hit by a pitch in the second. Also scored. He's the first baseman for the Barons, and the 0-1 home slides outside, a ball and a strike. That spiel sounded a whole lot better yesterday than it does today, doesn't it, Zach? The 1-1. Swing and a miss, and the bat is launched towards the Oaks dugout in the process. Saw that yesterday, too. A scary play. Thankfully, nobody injured on that bat toss. You know what would be the greatest, or one of the greatest moments in MLB history?
What?
If somebody hits a home run while throwing their bat like that. The bat flip where you're just...
I feel like I've seen a play like that before. I don't know if they've thrown it and gotten a home run, but I've definitely seen somebody let one go. I feel like it was Adrian Beltre. Somebody like that, like let one go and still get a hit.
1-2 to Ewell. Curveball way inside, and it almost hits him. But he straightens out his legs and gets out of the way. 2-2. Canale looking for a double play. Now the set and the pitch outside, and the count's full. Oaks are getting hit hard today, but can't help but look at the walks. 2 in this inning for Bellinson. Pinedo walked a batter last inning as the payoff pitch is outside. That is the 3rd walk of the frame for Charlie Bellinson, and he walks in a run. That's Jenny Ortiz from 3rd.
Kendall Pettis.
Basil Williams Jr. moves to 3rd as Donnerson heads to 2nd, and the bases are still loaded with 1 out of the inning. It's the Barons 9 and the Oaks nothing. Reese Matheson struggled to find the plate, walking 4 batters without retiring an out in his start to the game. It's 0-1. Barons are putting it to the Oaks right now. And the 0-1 pitch. Foul back, it's 0-2.
It's a machine that rolls it to see if I know.
Out's not coming easy for the Oaks. Played ball almost for an hour and a half already. Well, maybe not an hour and a half, but closer to an hour. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball lined hard down the left field line. Suval watches it drop. More runs come in and score. Williams Jr. followed by Donnerson, who slides in safely underneath the throw, which was not corralled by Kamenko. The explosion just keeps getting worse and worse. It's an avalanche here in the third inning. Now 4 runs across, and it's 11-0 Academy. As I mentioned, Williams Jr. scores, Donnerson scores, and Ewell goes to second on what is a single from Kendall Pettis in his first hit of the ball game. He's now 1 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, and a 2 RBI base hit. Still 1 out and 2 on, and it's 11-0. Outside, 1-0 on 81 from Bellinson. Not exactly the performance you want in a must-win ball game. On a pitch. Inside, 2-0.
It really has. I mean, it's been everything, but you talk about Reese Matheson, 4 walks, Pinedo 2, Bellinson 2, 8 walks.
2-0. That's way inside, but called a strike anyway. Zach Kamenko doing his best acting job. He gets the Academy Award for Best Frame of the afternoon. 2-1. And out in the frame, and the pitch. Ground ball left side, foul, 2-2. This is Logan Pollock hitting. He's 1 for 2 with a single to left field and a pop-up that went to Castro at first. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ewell at second. Pettis on first. 11 runs on 9 hits for the Academy. No runs on a hit and an error for the Oaks. Outside and the count's full. 85 on a straight fastball. Payoff pitch. Swinging a ground ball. This could be 2. 6-4. The relay to first to 3. An inning-ending double play for the Oaks. It goes Oedekerk to Gomez and then to Castro. But in the inning, it's going to be 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. 11-0 Barons, bottom 3 when we return on the Conejo Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Bottom of the third inning, 11-0 in favor of the bad guys if you're an Oaks fan. But the Barons, they treat us well when we're over at MLB Youth Academy. We're not going to call them the bad guys. It's the bottom of the third inning, and Justin Ammons leads off. He grounded out to second in his only at-bat. Noel Soto, still the pitcher for the Barons. He's looked great today. and starts Ammons off with a get-me-over curveball for a strike. Nice pitch from Soto. He's impressed me just based on his stuff so far this summer. It's a balanced demeanor on the hill. And another curveball located well. It's 0-2. And one thing that's particularly impressive about Soto to me is he'll mix up his repertoire. And a lot of times when pitchers, switch from pitch to pitch and they throw a lot of different pitches in different counts, they tend to make mistakes. 0-2, high and away, 1-2. And based on my unprofessional opinion, Noel Soto, he doesn't really miss on his off speed all too often. And when he does, he's not leaving it over the middle of the plate. Now the 1-2. High on a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Forming quite the fan base on our Oaks YouTube page. We appreciate you joining us and happy we're able to bring you Noel's start today. 2-2 pitch, ground ball to second again. Trent Anderson sizes it up and tosses to first for the first out. Noel Soto still working clean.
The shortstop,
through 2
number 14, Tyler Oedekerk.
And here's Tyler Oedekerk. Oedekerk today struck out looking. That was Soto's first of 2 strikeouts. Oaks RBI leader digs in and crouches low. Takes a get-me-over curveball again at 71 for a strike. Takes high, 84, above the zone, 1-1. Oedekerk goes to Cal State Los Angeles. Lines one down the right field side and lands just right of the Barons bullpen and out of play, 1-2. Oedekerk had a really productive season at Cal State LA. He's bounced around colleges. 1-2 is inside 2-2. Started at Irvine Valley College, where he earned a first-team all-conference honors after hitting .353 in 40 games and 39 starts. As a freshman, he hit .311. This past year, he hit .337 at Cal State LA, and you could see why he had those types of numbers as he lines one straight through the middle for his first hit today.
First baseman, number 24, Jacob Castro.
He's only 5'8", 170. But Oedekerk is just a baseball player. You could see it in the beard. You could just see how much he loves to play the game. Very complimentary of Cal State LA and their baseball program. Just loves it there.
And he's been one of the reliable bats and defensive forces for this team. One of the guys that's in the lineup almost every day.
Jacob Castro walked his first time up. Ground ball through the middle. Diving stop, Channy Ortiz. Tossed to second for a 6'4" fielder's choice. Goodness gracious, Channy Ortiz laying out and robbing Jacob Castro of a single. Terrific effort by the defensive-minded shortstop for the Academy Barons. So Castro on first, Oedekerk retired on the force out at second. Ryan Yamashiro was hit by a pitch in the first, and now digs in here in the bottom of the third. Curveball, a strike. Again, it's 0-1. That pitch is so good from Noel Soto. The shape of it stands out among many of the breaking balls that we see over the summer season. And the 0-1, this is a fastball above the letters, too high to be a strike, and it's a ball, 1-1. Bottom of the third inning, Barons 7 in the first, 4 in the third. The Oaks still scoreless on 2 hits. The 1-1. In tight, 2 balls and a strike to Yamashiro. Basil Williams playing shallow out in center field. Plenty of room in the right center gap for Yamashiro, and we know he loves to go that way. 2-1. Inside on another curveball. It's 3-1. Looking forward to hear what you have to say today, Zach. I know you have something planned for your innings in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. 3-1, too low, and a walk for Yamashiro, who's reached base twice, both on free passes. This time a walk, and the first goes hit by pitch. And there's 2 on with 2 outs for Will Picketts. Popped up to second his first time up.
It's little Lonzo.
Yep, little Lonzo. That's how much we're going to be seeing of Lonzo this upcoming season. A little. High on a fastball, 1-0. Of course, Lonzo ball meant so much to a lot of fans here in the area. Same age as us, Zach, or close to us, and also a lot of the Oaks players. 1-0, hard grounder, third base side, foul, and it's 1-1. But enough about the irrelevant Pelicans. At least for a couple years, they'll be irrelevant. Especially in the Deep Western Conference.
Basketball.
Yeah, it's a sport.
We do like sports.
1-1 to Pickett's. Curveball, he waits for it. He's actually late for it and fouls it out of play. It's 1-2. See Ledford on deck if the inning gets there. Caneo looking for their first run across here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They've had their chances. They stranded 2 in the 1st and a run last inning in the 2nd. In danger of stranding a couple more here. As Soto delivers the 1-2. Pickett skies this one way back left field. It is caught to retire the side. Gave everybody a little bit of a scare, but that wind coming in from left field has gone from a mellow 8-mile-an-hour breeze to a roaring 15-mile-an-hour wind straight to right field. In the inning for the Oaks, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they strand 2 runners. They've stranded 5 through 3, and we're on to the 4th on the Caneo Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Top of the 4th inning, it's 11-0 Barons. And for play-by-play of the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings, here is my broadcasting partner, Zach Engberg.
Tough first 3 innings for the Oaks. But Jordan, I have to say I'm very impressed. That was a lot of time that you filled. Gave us a lot of information. I always love learning a history lesson. And as you mentioned, the Barons up 11-0. Top of the 4th. Alante Hall playing catcher today, wearing number 26. Up for his 3rd at-bat of the game. In the 4th inning, that's impressive. Already singled today. That was in the 1st. and one of the few Barons, the only Baron that inning, to get on base and not score. And that first pitch he fouls off, and it's 0-1. The Barons scored 7 in the first, 4 in the third, and they've held the Oaks to nothing so far. 11 runs on 9 hits, no errors. As Bellinson fires in the 0-1 pitch, popped up again. That one's foul. Camengo goes running, Castro goes running, but there's going to be no plays. It bounces off the top of the Barons dugout, 0-2. The Oaks, no runs on 2 hits and an error. That error was on a wild throw on Zach Camengo, trying to catch a runner, stealing third. That runner went in to score. The 0-2 from Bellinson to Alante Hall. Delivers, it's low, and it's 1-2. 84 on that fastball.
Zach, this game is now a perfect opportunity for a lot of the guys who don't get too many innings, who don't get too many at-bats, to make their case why they should get more playing time.
As the 1-2 pitch low, outside corner, Alante Hall does a good job holding off on that one, and it's 2-2. And Charlie Bellinson is one. We haven't seen him in a little while. Coming in, getting a couple innings of work. Guillermo Pinedo, the 2-2 pitch. Driven, that was a line drive, but it's going to fly foul. It's still 2-2. Yeah, I'd be surprised. Coach Solis, in games past, in an effort of, waving the white flag, will often pinch hit a lot of guys. I wouldn't be surprised if we see those kind of early on, 4th, 5th inning, as 2-2 pitch. That's a charge into center field, but Justin Ammon's going to get under it. And that's the first out of the inning. Alante Hall, F-8.
The left fielder, number 13, Christian Poche.
And Christian Poche up. Poche playing left today. 0 for 2, grounded into a double play in the first. Flew out to right in the third. One of the few guys today for the Barons not to reach base. Actually, the only guy on the team that is yet to reach base. Hitting 9th. And the first pitch from Bellinson in the dirt outside. It's 1-0. Second pitch also outside in the dirt, and it's 2-0. Not a good start. The Oaks have already walked 8 runners today as the 2-0 pitch. That's a ground ball to second. Hard hit. That'll be an easy play for Ramon Gomez, 4-3, and that's a nice quick 2 outs for Charlie Bellinson. That's a great start to the inning. This is what you want. Down 11-0, you need some easy innings so your offense can come out and get some rhythm, because it's hard to go that far in between at-bats.
And to beat the Sun at this rate. It's going to be important for the Oaks to get a few more outs a little bit more frequently today. And good for Charlie. Throwing strikes now. Seems to be settling into this game. I've liked what I've seen from him this inning.
Trent Anderson back at the top of the order. Anderson, 3 at-bats. He's reached base all 3 times as the first pitch flies outside. It's 1-0. Walked in the first and then later doubled. And then he had a single and a run in the third. So 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 for 2. As that pitch is inside, and it's 2-0. That's a lot of these guys buffing up their numbers today. As the 2-0 pitch outside, and it's 3-0.
And we know the Barons really do care about their numbers. There was a player, I won't name his name, who was upset that one of his hits was ruled an error earlier this year and went and got up into the face of one of the statisticians here.
As Bellinson works in the 3-0 pitch. The outside corner, and it's 3-1 to Anderson. The 3-1, Anderson swings on it, skies it into left field. The left fielder, shortstop, third baseman converging. And that'll be a play for Tyler Oedekerk at third in the first 1-2-3 inning of the game in the top of the 4th. For the Caneo Oaks, they still trail 11-0, but they will be up to bat in the bottom of the 4th, presumably against Noel Soto, as I have seen no action in the Barons bullpen. Keep it here as the Oaks try to make another miraculous comeback on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Steele Ledford in to lead off the bottom of the fourth for the Caneo Oaks, down 11-0. Noel Soto back out on the hill. Soto today, 3 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Has hit 1 batter and no runs given up. The Oaks a couple of times today have left runners stranded. And the first pitch into Ledford is worked in. Their 88 fastball. And it's 0-1. Steele Ledford today, 0 for 1. Popped up to the shortstop in the second as the 0-1 pitch swung on, driven down the right field line, and that'll touch in. And he trips, rounding first base. He gets up. He's still going to second. You know, Ledford's got a lot of speed, and he walks safely into second base. And I'm wondering, Jordan, if he doesn't slip at first, if that's potentially a triple.
He's too fast for his own cause. He ran out of his shoes at first. That would have been a triple, no doubt about it in my mind. That got all the way into the right field corner. Steele Ledford so fast that he could fall down at first and still make it a stand-up double. Good start to the inning for Caneo.
And that is the kind of start that they want. Everybody's had an at-bat against Noel Soto all the way through the order. Everybody getting another chance here as Ramon Gomez fouls off the first pitch. 69 on that curveball, and it's 0-1. The Oaks have had a runner in scoring position in every inning. In the first, they stranded 2. Stranded Castro at second, Yamashiro at first. As the 0-1 pitch. Beautiful breaking ball worked in there on the inside corner. And it's 0-2. In the second, Zach Kamenko had a 2-out double. And was stranded on second. And in the third, Tyler Oedekerk got on base. Jacob Castro got on a fielder's choice. Ryan Yamashiro walked. As Ramon Gomez grounds to the shortstop. That's going to be a quick throw for Channy Ortiz. Had to fire it over there to catch Gomez, who was racing out of the box, and that's the first out of the inning.
Catcher number 7, Zach
Kamenko, who, as I just mentioned, already has a double today, up now. 1 down with a runner in scoring position. And he could start this comeback with a swing of the bat, get the Oaks on the board.
Zach Kamenko has been a much more aggressive hitter this season. Last year, he kind of was, I don't know. He let the game come to him, which isn't the worst thing. But this year, he's attacking the game. And he's taking it under his own control.
And he takes that first pitch high. It's 1-0. And he was on our broadcast last week at home, and that's something that he definitely talked about, was being more aggressive. And he talked about how he's always been kind of a clutch hitter, and we saw that last year. We've seen that this year, but he wants to be more consistent, and this is a chance right here in the 4th inning as he fouls that one off. No play there, and it's 1-1. This season, Kamenko, he's got 7 hits, 4 of them singles, 3 of them doubles. And he's got 6 RBIs, which is a pretty high total considering he's only got 27 at-bats coming into the game. 1-1 count, 1 out. Ledford at second. The pitch into Kamenko. He pops it up. In the infield should be a play easily made for Channy Ortiz. Can of corn right there, and that's 2 down. Still a runner on second base, and the Oaks in danger once again of leaving a runner in scoring position stranded. Aaron Suval at the bottom of the order. He see if he can reverse that curse.
Well, hit the ball very hard his first time up. Just a fly out to right field. He's got a good swing, and he's still very young. He's got a very high ceiling as a baseball player.
First pitch in from Soto. He drives out. That's going to be down the first base line. Ledford is sent home. Mark Fitzgerald sends him. Suval around first. He's heading to second. He looks like he's racing around second. He's going to head to third. He trips a little bit on the second base bag, and he's going to get in safely with an RBI 2-out triple. First hit of the season for Aaron Suval. And that's a big hit, and the Oaks are on the board, down 11-1. You got to get 1 run at a time, Jordan. That's a big hit for Aaron Suval. Well hit ball The second one this inning that's gone down the first base line in the right field corner.
That's a swing that's going to pop to any scout in attendance today, because Aaron Suval, for a guy that young to have that advanced of bat skills, to go inside out and use your hands to drive the ball down the right field line as a right-handed hitter, that's awfully impressive. And welcome to the Conejo Oaks, Aaron Suval, a brilliant first hit as an Oak.
And that's the fifth triple of the season by Conejo Oak. The first pitch in to Justin Ammons back at the top of the order is outside. It's 1-0. Steele Ledford has a triple. Almost had another one today. Gabe Baldovino has a triple. Nico Lima has 2 triples. And now Aaron Suval has one. And as Ammons, a little bit of a chop swing right there. And it's 1-1. First run on the board against Noel Soto, who before that, still today, has been great. And it's a little bit easier when you come on the hill for the first time with a 7-0 lead. And the 1-1 pitch, Ammons holds back on that one.
And that's not insignificant, as the count is now 2-1 to Ammons, because as a pitcher, you're so much more free, even with a 2 or 3 run lead, but let alone a 7-run lead. You can go out there and make 3 or 4 mistakes and still turn in a good start, as that one drops in the dirt and makes it 3-1.
Especially the last time that he went out in the first inning, Noel Soto he gave up 3 runs against the Oaks. Gave up 4 runs that day in 3 innings of work.
That's a great point.
It's great to know coming out, okay, even if I give up those runs, we're still going to come out with a significant lead. That's a big confidence boost as the 3-1 pitch. Fastball just misses on the inside corner. 71 Ammons tosses his bat.
It looked actually like the breaking ball. And I think it was such a good pitch that the umpire didn't see where it went, because that was right down the middle.
That looked pretty good to me from back here, but again, I don't know what I'm talking about. But the Oaks now, runners on the corners. Tyler Oedekerk, a consummate professional in the batter's box. Already with a hit today in the 3rd inning, and he struck out looking. He's got a chance here. Help the Oaks a little bit more, down 11-1. Aaron Suval on 3rd. Justin Ammons on 1st. We'll see if Coach Solis decides to send Justin Ammons here. We know he has a lot of speed on 1st. Takes a big lead there as that 86-mile-an-hour fastball is in there, and it's a strike. 0-1. And the Oaks absolutely have a tendency to leave runners on, leave opportunities on the base paths against these Barons. The last time they played, 13 runners left on as Oedekerk swings on the 0-1 pitch, fouls it back, and it's 0-2. Already today have left 4 runners on base. Only 1 run to show for the action on the base paths, and it's an 0-2 pitch. Noel Soto throws back to 1st, checking on Ammons. Nothing doing there. Oedekerk, as we've mentioned, the RBI leader for these Oaks, 12 on the season. He could get a couple more right here. Swings through that one. That'll get through the infield. Aaron Suval coming to score. Ammons will stop at 2nd. Almost was caught there. And that's an RBI single for Tyler Oedekerk, his 2nd hit of the game. 13th RBI of the season. 2nd run of the inning for the Conejo Oaks. And as Jacob Castro comes up, it's 11-2. Little by little. Already 2 runs on 3 hits in this inning. You like to see that from Tyler Oedekerk as Jacob Castro 0 for 1 today. The first pitch runs outside. It's 1-0. Walked in the 1st inning, was left at 2nd. In the 3rd inning, reached on a 6-4 fielder's choice on a great diving play from Channy Ortiz and was left stranded in the on the 2nd in that inning as well. And he's up here in the 4th, and he swings on that one. A lot of pull power. It was a line drive shot, just a little bit foul. Well, not a little bit foul, but he was just a little bit ahead of that ball. and it's 1-1. Jacob Castro is still waiting on his first home run of the season, and you could see a little bit of the pull power he has right there as he takes 1-1 in the dirt. Ammons advances to third. Oedekerk advances to second in the Oaks now. 2 runners in scoring position. Justin Ammons 90 feet away. 2-1, 2 outs. Noel Soto on the hill. Jacob Castro in the batter's box. The 2-1 pitch from Soto. Castro takes that one high and outside. 3-1. The Oaks a pitch away from potentially loading the bases for Ryan Yamashiro. Three-one. Curveball misses inside again. Not second straight at bat, but the second in the last 3 at bats. A curveball placed. A pretty good pitch from Noel Soto. It's called a ball once again, and the bases are loaded for Ryan Yamashiro, who just a couple days ago, Jordan had a big home run against the Blues, and he's up now. He's got a chance to close the gap a little bit more here in the bottom of the 4th. Jacob Castro on first with a walk. Tyler Oedekerk on second. Had an RBI single. Justin Ammons on third. He walked. And Ryan Yamashiro, 2 at-bats today. Well, 2 plate appearances as the first pitch. Drops in the outside corner 0-1. 2 plate appearances, no official at-bats as he reached on a hit-by-pitch in the first. A walk in the third. Ammons with a little bit of a lead. Oedekerk with a little bit of a lead as that breaking ball misses just a little bit outside. 1-1.
Look for Ryan Yamashiro to get something elevated here and use his quick hands to find a gap.
As he fouls that one back. 83 on that fastball. And that was his idea right there, Jordan, but he was just missed it a little bit.
A bit late. That was a fastball in the outer half. Yamashiro had a pull swing on there. Look for him if he gets that pitch again to try and shoot it the other way.
1-2, 2 outs. Soto on the hill. Yamashiro in the box. Bases loaded. Oaks down 11-2. The pitch from Soto inside. That's a called strike 3. And that will end the inning. Not sure about that call. The umpire with a wide zone. Called that one inside on Yamashiro, and that will end the inning for the Oaks, but not before. 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors, and they leave them loaded. Still 11-2. From Sparky Anderson Fields. Charlie Bellinson looking like he's going to go back out on the hill for the Caneo Oaks. The Academy Barons will be up to bat right here on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Channy Ortiz, the shortstop, up for his 4th at-bat of the day in the 5th inning. 0 for 1, 2 walks, 2 runs, and he ended the 7-run, 5-hit first inning for the Barons with a pop-up to the third baseman as he fouls the first pitch in from Charlie Bellinson. Up and back, and it's 0-1. The Oaks are 2 runs in the bottom of the fourth. A couple of hits, a couple of walks, and they leave him loaded on a called strike 3 as Ortiz dribbles that one to Ramon Gomez at second. He fires to Castro at first, and that's the first out of the inning. 1 down. Charlie Bellinson in the fourth finally got a 1-2-3 frame against these Barons, and it looks like he's found a little bit of a groove here as Basil Williams Jr. comes up, which bodes well for the Oaks, as it looks like nobody's in the bullpen going forward.
Well, he's gotten the fastball down on the zone, and he's starting to hit the corners. He has some good sink action, and he's getting a lot of ground balls.
First pitch into Williams. He holds that back on that swing. Misses inside. It's 1-0.
And when he does miss and doesn't get it down in the zone, he's still, hitting the corners enough where they're not squaring it up.
Williams squared that one up, but it's just a little bit foul down the third baseline. Third base hump had a jump to the side. Quick reflexes as it lands in the Oaks bullpen, and it's 1-1 to Williams.
Hey, he's staying in tip-top shape.
Williams himself 2 for 2 today, as that one misses way outside, and it's 2-1. He singled and scored in the first. He walked and was left stranded on third base in the second, and he had a busy third inning. RBI single, stole second base, ended up scoring a run. So a couple of hits, a couple of runs, an RBI, and a walk. As he fouls that one off, and it's 2-2. And that's a lot of these Barons players, especially at the top of the order. They're all going to come out today with a couple of hits, a couple of runs, a couple of walks, maybe an RBI or two. The 2-2 pitch into Williams, and he swings through that or swings over it. He runs slowly to first. Kamenko fires over to Castro, and that's a strikeout for Charlie Bellinson. Big strikeout against the big bat of Basil Williams Jr. 2 down, and Benjamin Donnerson up.
That's Charlie Bellinson at his best. Pouring fastballs in the zone, get to 2 strikes, and then throw the disappearing changeup. That one started at the knees, looked like a strike 80% of the way home, and then the bottom dropped out of it into the dirt, and Williams struck out swinging.
And that breaking ball touches the outside corner. It's 0-1, 2 outs to Donnerson. Donnerson today, 3 at-bats, has also reached base 3 times. As the 0-1 breaking ball breaks way outside, and it's 1-1. Walked and scored in the first and the third innings. And he singled and was left on second in the second. The Barons left the bases loaded that inning as Bellinson fires it in. And that misses inside 2-1. Just reached 6:30 here. Cal Lutheran University, Sparky Anderson Field in beautiful Thousand Oaks as Donnerson fires on the 2-1 pitch. Skies it to left. And that's an easy play for Aaron Suval in left field. F-7. And that's another 1-2-3 inning for Charlie Bellinson. No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base for the Academy Barons, who still lead 11-2. The Oaks, who just scored 2 runs in the bottom of the fourth, will be up in the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Will Pickett, Steele Ledford, and Ramon Gomez to lead off that inning. Looks like a new pitcher in for the Barons. We'll get you his name. We'll get you Noah Soto's line, and we will get you the bottom of the 5th inning. Keep it here on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Travis Lavendiere, number 33 on the hill for the Academy Barons, replacing Noel Soto. Will Pickett's up first. First pitch into Pickett's, 64. And that breaking ball, and it's 0-1. Lavendiere, the righty, 6'2", 225 from Chico State University. The 0-1 into Pickett's, 86 on that fastball. It's outside and it's 1-1. Pickett's today 0 for 2. Popped up to the second baseman in the first and had what we thought was a home run as he drives that one into center, loops it a little bit, and that's a single for Will Pickett's. Another leadoff hit. Second straight inning that the Oaks have led off with a hit. And they have a runner on, nobody out. Steele Ledford up to the plate.
Good swing from Will Pickett's to stay on that curveball. Travis Lavendiere, a little bit of a unique delivery.
I noticed that as well.
Right over the top. If you've ever seen Doug Fister throw, used to be a very solid pitcher. He throws right over the top. He's got that 12-6 curveball that really moves, and he combines that with a mid-80s fastball too.
As the 85 fastball misses inside 1-0.
Interesting prospect because it's just so different than any other pitcher that you'll see. It's rare you see somebody go straight over the top.
As Ledford swings on it, he fouls it off down the first base line, and it's 1-1.
The challenge for a pitcher like that, Zach, is to get movement on a fastball. Because if you're going straight over the top, the spin
it's different. Yeah,
it's gonna be a pretty straight fastball. So if he hangs one over the middle, that's a batting practice pitch.
Lavendiere throws back to first, checking on Pickett's, and it's still 1-1. Ledford takes 1-1, low and outside. It's 2-1. Ledford puts a charge into it right field, but it looks like it's going to be just barely foul. Some moans and groans from the crowd and from the Oaks dugout. Coach Salee is coming out because I think, and the ump is sending him back, I think Coach Salee is going to argue that landed fair. Although it looks like they're going to discuss, the umps will converge. What was your look on that, Jordan? Because I'm really not sure. We have a tough angle from right here.
Yeah, it's impossible to say unless you're straight down the line. But what I will say is you don't see that type of reaction out of Cody Raymer a whole lot. And for him to be that animated after that ball went out and was called foul is telling to me, and I'm hesitant to say I agree with the umpires because I have a feeling that one was gone and that Coach Solis coming out immediately, Cody Raymer.
And it was an immediate reaction. You don't see that often from Coach Solis.
No.
It landed, and he immediately walked out. Cody Raymer, the first base coach, put his hands up, and they're going to call it foul.
And here comes Coach Solis.
Now he's coming out.
What had surprised me, he was already kind of warned by the first base umpire. It wasn't an official warning. Watch out here. This could get ugly.
Down 11-2. Might even be something where, and he doesn't get angry too often.
He seems to be pretty composed here, but it wouldn't surprise me. A lot of managers, especially in a blowout like this, where more than likely you're going to lose this ball game, you can get ejected as a manager, not to show up the umpire, but to send a message to your team to light a fire in their belly.
It looks like there's three different conversations. Steele Ledford still pleading his case to the home plate ump. Lavendiere on the mound, talking with the second base ump, and then Coach Solis talking with the first base ump.
How about the game for Steele Ledford?
Oh, my God. He's been swinging it hot.
I mean, he told me before today's game, I'm finally healthy. I'm going to try and be there every day now. And I said, okay, I'm excited to see it. And, well, so far he's been right, and so far I've been excited to see it.
Coach Solis still chatting, walks off, and you know he's unhappy. First base ump, heads back. Steele Ledford making his way back to the batter's box.
Ken Landreau arguing his case. He wants this to get going. He doesn't want to have this game suspended. He wants to finish it right now. And sunlight will become a factor here. It's been a very slow start to this game.
And we're back and we're ready after a long delay. And Ledford swings through that one. He misses. Doesn't look too happy walking off. Turns back, has some words for the home plate ump, and it looks like he was just sent. I think Steele Ledford may have just been ejected from this game.
And Coach Solis brings him over.
Put up a finger, sent him. Ken Landreau coming out. I think he's checking what the word is on this. It looked like Steele Ledford walking off, had some words for the home plate ump. He's chatting with Coach Solis in the dugout. And Coach Solis coming out, having some words for the home plate ump. And this could get interesting here. With one out, Oaks down 11-2.
Well,
in the bottom of the fifth.
Let's talk about this, because at this level, obviously, you're not supposed to run your mouth at all. But if you're talking about Major League Baseball and how you're supposed to talk to an umpire, first of all, you're not supposed to at any level. But when you do it, you're supposed to look at the ground. You're not supposed to show up the ump. Steele Ledford didn't turn back and look at the ump. He mumbled something under his breath as he was heading towards the dugout. If you're going to argue, that's how you're supposed to do it.
Ramon Gomez up to the plate. Second baseman today. First pitch in there for a strike. Gomez 0 for 2. Struck out swinging in the second. Popped up, or grounded into a 6-3 putout in the fourth. The Oaks always find a way to make it interesting, even down 11-2, and Gomez fouls that one off. And it's quickly 0-2. We never got Noel Soto's line, so I'll give it to you now. Lavendier replacing Soto. Soto went 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. Both were earned, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, 3 strikeouts. He had a good outing. Lavendier fires it in there, misses high. 87 on that one, 1-2. I was getting ready for, I made a home run call specifically for Steele Ledford, and I was getting excited to use it, but I'll have to wait as that curveball breaks inside, and that's a called strike 3. A little moldy cheese from Lavendier. Breaking ball inside.
Catcher, number 7.
And he's chatting, joking around with his catcher, saying, did you see that? Did you see that break? 2 down, still a runner on first. Zach Kamenko up. 2 straight strikeouts to start the inning for Lavendier after giving up the leadoff single to Will Pickett's. Zach Kamenko had a double in the bottom of the second. Popped out to the shortstop in the fourth, and that one's fired in there. Lavendier, 88. Every fastball he throws, he bumps up the velocity a little bit more. Kamenko grounds it to the shortstop, fires over. Channy Ortiz to Trent Anderson, 6-4 to get the lead runner, and that will end the inning for the Conejo Oaks. The Oaks, no runs on a hit, no errors, and they leave a runner on base. The Oaks still trail 11-2. It's an interesting inning. The Oaks always find a way to make it exciting. The Barons will be up to bat in the top of the 6th. We'll see if it's still Charlie Bellinson. And you'll find out here on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
6 for the Barons.
Aiden Dolan on the hill for the Caneo Oaks, replacing Charlie Bellinson. Charlie Bellinson had a good outing. Bellinson, 2 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs. Both runs came on a 2-run single from Kendall Pettis in the third. 2 walks and a strikeout, the lone strikeout of the game for the Caneo Oaks. And 2 straight 1-2-3 innings. Aiden Dolan facing off against Kendall Ewell. First pitch into Ewell, high and inside. Ewell backs off a little bit, and it's 1-0. Aiden Dolan this season, the Caneo Oak returnee from last year's 2018 CCL championship team, as he fires in 1-0. Changeup pulls back on 79. Ewell swings past it, and it's 1-1. Is dealing with an ankle injury on his right foot. That's the 1-1 pitch. Fired in there again inside. 73 on the breaking ball. It's 2-1. And in a couple outings, he's gone 0-2, 3 innings pitched. An ERA of 36. Giving up 16 runs, 12 earned is 2-1. Changeup misses inside. It's 3-1. 36 ERA. 5 strikeouts, 12 hits, 6 walks. And he was on the hill for the 7-run bottom of the 4th game against the Saints, as Kendall Ewell takes the 3-1 pitch inside, and that's a walk to lead off the inning. And not a good start here for Aiden Dolan, who has struggled as of late. Kendall Pettis up. Ewell has reached base all 4 times up. He's 1 for 1 with a double and a run in the first. He was hit by pitch in the second, and now walks in the third and the sixth. And Kendall Pettis is 1 for 2. Walked, stole a base, and scored on the wild throw from Zach Kamenko in the first. In the third, a 2-run single, and he's up now with a runner on. And the first pitch high, and it plucks Kendall Pettis. Looked like on his right shoulder. And Aiden Dolan, 2 batters, 2 runners allowed, and only 6 pitches.
The third baseman, number 25, Logan Pollock.
Or 5 pitches. Tough start for Aiden Dolan as Logan Pollock comes up.
Not the best release right there for Aiden Dolan. It seems like he's having trouble putting weight on that right foot.
And we've talked about that, Jordan, with the right ankle. It makes the delivery really tough.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Logan Pollock today had a 2-run single and scored a run in the first. The last of the 7 runs for the Barons is that one fired in there. 80 on the inside corner, 0-1. Kendall Ewell on second, Kendall Pettis on first. A pair of Kendalls on the bases, and Logan Pollock at the plate. Oaks trailing 11-2. Both runs came in the bottom of the 4th. Aiden Dolan fires in 0-1. Pollock grounds it, and that's going to get through. Right past the shortstop, Tyler Oedekerk. Ewell is held at third. Suval fires in. Gets past the relay man. Kamenko stops it. But that's a single for Logan Pollock, and the bases are loaded. No outs against Aiden Dolan. Similar to his last start, Jordan, or his last outing. Could not record an out against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Allowed 7 runs, a 2-run shot, and a grand slam, both against lefties. And now Alante Hall catching the 8-hole hitter up to bat. The base is loaded. Nobody out. Hall today, 1 for 3, singled in the first. Grounded into a 1-3 putout in the second. Flew out to center field in the 4th. First pitch worked in there, and it's 0-1.
That was a good pitch from Aiden Dolan. The off-speed pitch, when he's at his best, is working all over the place. That time, a nice 12-6 break. And more importantly, he finished his windup there. He got good leverage off of that right foot on that pitch.
The 0-1, that one fired in there as well, 81.
And you could see how much more comfortable he has been the last 2 pitches. You could kind of see the first 3 batters of this inning. He was trying to figure out where he wanted his foot to be planted, his left foot. I think he's figured it out a little bit more. We'll see if it translates to more success.
Checks on the runner at second. Fires in, and he gets a swing and a miss from Alante Hall. First strikeout of the day for Aiden Dolan. First out of the inning. That's beautiful from Aiden Dolan. And that's a big out, and that's a good sign not only for this game, but going forward for Aiden Dolan.
Well, you see the repertoire there. He went curveball, fastball, and then once you establish those pitches, then Aiden Dolan went to the changeup to strike out the hitter. Really good sweet sequence, and it's encouraging. A 3-pitch see you later to Alante Hall.
Christian Poche, the 9-hole hitter. He's up, swings at the first pitch. Gets it off the end of his bat. Raul Sandoval in for Still Edford and right. He gets it, fires it in, not even going to bother going home. He goes to third. A run will score on the sac fly. And Kendall Pettis and Logan Pollock will both advance. Kendall Eo comes in to score. That'll be an RBI sac fly for Christian Poche. And it's 12-2. Raul Sandoval has an arm, but not enough of an arm to get the speedy Kendall Eo, who came in to score from third. Back to the top of the order, Trent Anderson. Anderson finally was retired in the top of the fourth. That closed out that inning. Popped up to the shortstop. Runners on second and third. Trent Anderson up. Dolan fires in 82 on the fastball. Misses inside 1-0.
But that's good, because when you see Aiden Dolan missing into lefties, that means he's getting enough. He's putting the right amount of weight on his right foot. When he's missing outside to lefties, inside to righties, and he's not finishing his windup and his delivery, that's when you know there's a problem.
1-0 to Anderson. That one misses inside in the dirt. Goes to the backstop. Kendall Pettis will come in to score. Logan Pollock will go from second to third. That's a wild pitch from Aiden Dolan. And it's 13-2 Barons. Now an 11-run lead in the top of the sixth.
And sometimes you could overcompensate, Zach. You're missing outside first few hitters, and then you miss inside. And in the middle of trying to correct these mistakes, one or two are going to go to the backstop. This is a work in progress for Aiden Dolan right now. He's working on his mechanics on the fly in the middle of a game. Sure, it's 13-2, but this is still a game situation.
2-0. That one misses high and outside. It's 3-0. And baseball is absolutely a game of adjustments. You talk about during the game, coaches make adjustments. They try to change up game plans, but in the middle of at bats, pitchers, hitters, you have to make adjustments depending on how you're feeling, what the hitter's doing, what the situation is. And Aiden Dolan there made an adjustment and it backfired. And a run scored in the 3-0 pitch into Anderson. Misses high and outside, and that's a 4-pitch walk. Second walk of the inning allowed by Aiden Dolan.
Shortstop number 7.
And with 2 outs, runners on the corners, already 2 across for the Barons in the top of the sixth. Channy Ortiz up to the plate.
Trial and error, trial and error.
Considering his last couple of outings, this is, while 2 runs across is not good in normal situations, he has a 36 ERA coming into this game and only 3 innings of work. This is an improvement. Channy Ortiz has been busy today as well. 2 walks. Came in to score on both of those walks, and he grounds it. A chopper to Jacob Castro at first. He grabs it, steps on the first base bag, and that is finally the 3rd out of the inning to end the top of the 6th. But the Barons, 2 runs on a hit, no errors. They leave 2 runners on base. They lead 13-2 as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. The Oaks will be up to bat. It'll be Aaron Suval, Justin Ammons, and Tyler Oedekerk. The Oaks trail by 11. Come back for the bottom of the 6th inning here on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Aaron Suval leading off the 6th inning for the Caneo Oaks, trailing 13-2. Today the Barons, 7 runs across in the first, 4 in the third, and 2 in the 6th, with a few 1, 2, 3 innings sprinkled in between. The Oaks, both runs came in the bottom of the 4th. Aaron Suval up to the plate. First pitch in from Lavendiere. Works in on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. Lavendiere just finished his freshman year at Chico State. Did not pitch. As Suval grounds out and takes a weird hop on the mound. Ortiz makes a great play, ranging to his left. What a play from Channy Ortiz. A loud 6-3 put out. That thing took a weird bounce off the mound, rolled past Lavendiere, hopped up, landed right in Channy Ortiz's wheelhouse. He was ranging to his left, made the catch, made the throw while moving, and that's a fantastic first out of the inning. We've seen some great defense from Channy Ortiz today.
That's a great play. You gave all the analysis of it. You described it. Folks saw it on the stream. That's a terrific play by a terrific young shortstop.
Justin Ammons up to the bat. Ammons' first pitch swinging, swings through it. 83 on the gun. So, Jordan, I mentioned before that I have my own favorite July 4th tradition.
Sure.
Are you familiar with the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest?
I have seen it on
Really?
TV before.
It's on ESPN 2, as that pitch is outside 1-1. Every July 4th at noon, and my dad and I have been watching it for years. And funny enough, just a couple days ago, there was a 30 for 30 on the two biggest legends in the history of competitive eating, as the curveball drops in there safely, and it's 1-2. Joey Chestnut and Takeru Kobayashi, who have revolutionized the sport, if you want to call it a sport.
Now, is there like a prime of a career if you're a competitive eater?
Yeah, Joey Chestnut's in it right now, as Ammons fouls the 1-2 pitch off.
Because
It's strange. You would think that a competitive eater would be a big guy, somebody who could just down. Takeru Kobayashi, there are pictures. He's got a 6-pack, straight up abs of steel. It's the work that these guys put into it is incredible. There was a video, Joey Chestnut. He does like jaw workouts. As Lavendiere fires in the 1-2, it misses high, and it's 2-2 to try to, because the goal of the game. So if you're not familiar with it, every July 4th there's a hot dog eating contest at Coney Island. It's been going on since the 70s. And competitors have 10 minutes to eat as many hot dogs as they can. As the 2-2 curveball misses high and outside 3-2.
what's the mustard regulation?
So I believe, my understanding is it's just hot dog, bun, and I think they can add stuff onto it, but generally you don't, because that's just going to slow you down. As Ammons fires, that one loops it, and that's going to drop safely in front of Basil Williams in right center, and that's a hit for Justin Ammons, his first of the day.
Before you move on, Zach, I'm just wondering, are there like different divisions? Because if I were in that contest at like 12 or 13 years old, there's no way I was going to lose that.
So the big contest, as Tyler Oedekerk was a couple hits today up to the plate. My understanding is there's just the main contest, and that's it. I'm sure there are other ones, but as that pitch misses high, it's 1-0. This is the big boys. This is like the event. I mean, there are other events, but this is the event. This is
the main event.
In competitive eating, this is the one that, it's the Wimbledon. It's the, it's the World Series. This is the one that you want to compete in. As that one misses outside, and it's 2-0 to Oedekerk. So last year, Joey Chestnut broke the world record. Jordan, what do you think the world record is for
hot dogs in 10 minutes?
Yep. How many hot dogs do you think Joey Chestnut? That'll be your trivia question of the day. What is the world record?
If I'm within 5, I win. 85.
2-0 misses inside, and it's 3-0.
That's too many.
74.
Oh, what?
85 is a lot. I know. 74. So a little bit of history here. So a bunch of years ago, it was around 2000. The game, it was a popular contest, as 3-0 was worked in there on the outside corner, 3-1. But it wasn't, it wasn't as big as it was. So in 2001, the record was about 25 and a half hot dogs. And Takeru Kobayashi, this was his first year competing. He ate 50 as 3-1 misses outside. Tyler Oedekerk is going to be on base. Oedekerk on first. Ammons on second. One down. Lavendiere losing a little bit of control here, although the Barons still lead 13-2. Jacob Castro up to the plate. Good start for the Oaks here. But I got to get back to this. This is it's actually really interesting. So, Takeru Kobayashi from Japan started a run of dominance in 2001. At the time of the contest, it was 12 minutes, and he ate 50 hot dogs, which blew the record. He doubled it, really. Second place in that contest was 26. So, and by a man, Eric Badlands Booker, who's still competing today. Castro grounds the first pitch. That's going to be to Anderson 4-6-3, and that's a double play, and that will end the inning. And that'll end my story, Jordan. Sadly, although I can run a little bit more in the next inning, if you so please. A big double play to end the inning. The Oaks, no runs on a hit, no errors. They leave a runner stranded on base, and that was Justin Ammons. Jacob Castro grounds into a 4-6-3 double play. The Barons still lead 13-2. As we head into the top of the seventh inning, Aiden Dolan will be back out for his second inning of work. Keep it here on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Basil Williams Jr. up to the plate for the Academy Barons, leading 13-2. Aiden Dolan on the hill. And for play-by-play for the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, I'll throw it back to my partner, Jordan Brenner. Jordan?
Great job today, Zach, and I understand that you have a little bit more of your story to get to as Dolan fires in a 12-6 breaking ball in for a strike to Basil Williams. And it's 0-1 to the left-handed hitter. Today he is 2 for 3 with 2 singles, a walk, and a strikeout swinging, which came in the 5th. Swings and lines that one fouled on the right side. It's 0-2. So, Zach, feel free in between pitches to take as much time as you need
it's a very important story, yeah.
Finish telling this important tale.
Okay.
We'll do it after this pitch.
Yeah.
Dolan smooths the dirt underneath his feet, retakes the rubber, and now steps off as Williams Jr. steps out. Aaron Suval's in left, Justin Ammons in center, and Raul Sandoval in right field after Steele Ledford was ejected today. First player I can remember being ejected in the past 2 seasons for the Oaks. And a breaking ball is low, 1-2. Pickett's Oedekerk left side, Gomez Castro right side, Kamiko the catcher, and Aiden Dolan on the hill.
I'll get to it. So Kobayashi again. 50 hot dogs in 2001.
1-2 home. Swing and a line drive into center. This is down and in to center field for a base hit. A 3-hit game for Basil Williams Jr. And he continues to just hit the ball hard.
The designated hitter number 37, Benjamin Donerson.
So in 2001, Jordan, imagine Kobayashi is the Babe Ruth of competitive eating. He's coming along. He's doing things nobody's done before. He's breaking records. And at 23 years old, he eats 50 hot dogs in 12 minutes. And he starts a run of absolute dominance. He wins in 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, '06. He wins 6 in a row, right?
Yeah.
And then a young up-and-comer from San Jose, California, Joey Chestnut, comes along, changes the game again.
Benjamin Donnerson turns out of the way of 80 miles an hour that was right at him. It's 1-0 to the DH today. He has walked twice in the first and third and is 1 for 2 with a single to center in the second. He scored 2 runs. And now the 1-0. Dolan sets at the bell as he toes the rubber and fires in the pitch. Too low, 2-0.
So Joey Chestnut, who is also 23, I think we're finding a trend here. The prime, as I'm sure everyone would guess, of eating a lot of food in a short amount of time is your early 20s. And I know we both know that.
I can confirm that.
So Joey Chestnut comes along in 2007, and he beats Kobayashi, eating 66 hot dogs to Kobayashi 63.
2-0, little tapper back to Dolan, turns, fires to second. Gomez back to first, a double play. 1-4-3. Dolan, Gomez, Castro, 2 quick ones here at the top of the 7th.
And it looked like Basil Williams actually slid into Ramon Gomez at second when he was trying to make the double play. Still made the nice throw. So Joey Chestnut came in, broke the record by 13 hot dogs in his first year, and he had a run of dominance himself. He won 8 in a row from 07 to 2014.
Kendall Ewell takes the first pitch inside at 82-1-0. Ewell, a double in 4 plate appearances, and yet he's 1 for 1 as he was hit by a pitch in the second and walked in the third and sixth. Also scored a run in today's ball game. And the 1-0, swinging a tapper foul. 1-1.
And funny enough, it was for a while there. It was because after he beat Kobayashi, funny enough, Kobayashi kind of left the limelight. He was really upset about losing. He was really at the top of the game, and he was despondent. So he went back to Japan.
So when you're upset about not eating enough, did he kind of go the opposite route? Did he just go on a diet?
You know, I really don't know. You're gonna have to watch the 30 for 30, but he basically went into hiding. He went back to Japan. Nobody's really seen him since. And Joey Chestnut. So if Kobayashi was the Babe Ruth, Joey Chestnut was the Barry Bonds. He was breaking these records. 74 hot dogs last year, shattering all these records.
1-1 pitch, and again, nubbed foul, 1-2.
So he was at the top of the game for a while, and he was winning the mustard belt, which is the name of the hot dog championship belt.
Sure.
8 years in a
Naturally.
row. But he ran into a problem where there was nobody for a while there that was really even close to his game. In 2013, he ate 69. Matt Stoney had 51. So he kind of got a little lackadaisical for a while.
1-2 pitch. A knuckler back to Dolan, and he gloves it, tosses to first, and retires the side in order. A leadoff single for Basil Williams, erased by a 1-4-3 double play. And Dolan faces the minimum in a scoreless top of the 7th. Bottom half when we return, it's the Barons 13 and the Oaks 2 on the Conejo Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Designated hitter number 32.
Here comes
Ryan
Trevor Sutt
Yamashiro.
in for Travis Lavendier. Lavendier is over today, and Trevor Sutt, the righty, who is nasty, is on the hill. Starts off Yamashiro with a breaking ball at 69, low and away. There are some people around this league who think that Trevor Sutt is among the best junior college pitchers in the country. The 1-0 is low. 2-0. And his numbers, at least for the summer, back that up. 20 innings, a 1.80 ERA, 27 strikeouts to 4 walks. Been the best reliever, probably the best pitcher on the Barons. 2-0 and tight to Yamashiro, who is 0 for 1. Travis Lavendier went 2 innings, 2 hits, no runs. Walked a batter and struck out 2. And the 3-0 misses. It's a 4-pitch walk. And I guess the reverse broadcaster's jinx
number 6
is
Will Pickett
on display again.
It's alive and well, Jordan. It always is.
Will Pickett's 1 for 3. And a dirty uniform. Picks up some dirt, rubs it in his hands, and digs in. 7-12 here from Sparky Anderson. Sun quickly setting. In the bottom of the 7th, curve ball stays high. 1-0. That's Trevor Sutt's best pitch, at least in my opinion. He'll throw that for a strike. He'll bury it in the dirt. He'll front door it to righties, back door it to lefties. He'll throw it in all counts. Yamashiro off of first. Takes another step, and another curveball low, 2-0.
So this is the second straight game that the Oaks have seen Noel Soto and Trevor Sutt in the same contest. And in that game, which was their 7-6 win on June 28th, Trevor Sutt went 2 innings, allowed a hit, struck out 4, and allowed nothing else. So he was pretty solid in that outing.
From Long Beach City College, and he's thrown 7 straight balls, as it's now 3-0 to Will Pickett. For a guy that's only walked 4 batters this summer in 20 innings, this is awfully impressive. I mean, awfully surprising. Opposite of impressive. Had a huge year at Long Beach. And the 3-0, there's the strike at 82. He went 40 2/3 for Long Beach City College. A 1.55 ERA. He was their closer and saved 9 games, went 3-1. Wasn't as much of a strikeout pitcher with 29 Ks and 40 2/3 as he is this summer. Throw over to first. Yamashiro underneath the tag and back in safely. Sutt has been a strikeout pitcher this summer. Last time out, he went 3 scoreless innings against the Foresters. And Yamashiro back safely. Struck out 6 batters in that performance against Santa Barbara. It's actually, though he gave him 3 runs against the Foresters. None of them were earned. I should be clearer. Hasn't given up a run since the 25th of June. And the 3-1 is a breaking ball in for a strike. So protecting a scoreless streak of at least 5 innings. Hasn't given up a run against the Oaks this summer in 2 outings against them. And the 3-2 pitch is outside. And Trevor Sutt entered the game with 4 walks on the summer. Now he has 6. Walks Yamashiro and Pickett, and the Oaks have 2 on with nobody out.
And, you know, looking at his game log, Jordan, it looks to me like he's either on or he's off. Because there's only 3 games where he's allowed runs, but those games were 3 runs allowed to the Foresters on June 21st, 4 allowed to the Saints on June 25th, and then 3 allowed to the Foresters on June 30th. And in basically every other game, he's been almost perfect.
Raul Sandoval on for his first at-bat today. And there's a strike. Steele Ledford went 1 for 3 and was tossed after striking out swinging in the bottom of the 5th inning after he hit a home run foul. At least that's what it was ruled. Both Cody Raymer and Coach DeLees were quite animated about how they thought that was fair, as was the entire Oaks dugout. And well, Ledford, after striking out swinging on a changeup as the 0-1 drops in for a strike to Sandoval. After striking out swinging, Ledford turned to walk back to the dugout, muttered something underneath his breath, and the umpire was having absolutely none of it. Sandoval, a 194 hitter with 12 singles, a double, and a home run, along with 6 RBIs on the summer. 0-2 is outside, snap throw back to first. Pickett's back in standing, and it's 1-2. Sandoval, his on-base percentage is .302. Such a solid defender. Really working on cutting down those strikeouts right now. 27 on the summer. Leads the Oaks by 10. And the 1-2 is a breaking ball outside, and he lays off a tough one. 2-2. Yamashiro on second, Pickett's on first. Soto peers in and steps off. Now the righty is ready and offers the 2-2. Curve, and Sandoval lunges and offers at it with one hand and taps it to stay alive on a foul ball. Appreciate you joining us on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Appreciate your support today and for your interaction on the Oaks YouTube page. Not the most thrilling ball game, but we've had a nice time. On a beautiful day in Thousand Oaks, 2-2. Front door curveball, jam shot foul, right side high in the air and out of play. And the count remains 2-2. This will be a big win for the Barons. They came into this game really scuffling. 8 losses in a row after starting off the CCL season off to a bang. One of the more talented rosters they've fielded the past few years. And Sandoval strikes out, swinging on an 82-mile-an-hour fastball above the letters. One away. First strikeout for Trevor Sutton.
Zach Kamenko.
And here comes, actually not going to be Zach Kamenko, as was announced on the PA. It'll be Ramon Gomez.
10, Ramon Gomez.
Kamenko waiting on deck in his catcher's gear. Still has it on in case there's a double play here. And the pitch, Gomez swings and misses as Sud, delivers the frisbee curve. (0-1) with an out. Now the set. And the no ball, one strike pitch to the righty is called a strike at the top of the zone. Gomez disagrees, and it's 0-2. Check of the runner, and the 0-2 pitch, front door curve. Gomez gets a big piece of it and skies it foul left side. Still 0-2 with 2 on and 1 out. The pitch, fastball, and a sprinkler in the right field, and it is going to be caught after a diving catch by Kendall Pettis. Raced in from right, laid out heads first, and made the catch for out number 2.
Now batting the catcher, number 7, Zach Kamenko.
That was a great play by Kendall Pettis. We've seen the athleticism on display from a lot of these guys today. Channy Ortiz has made a couple of nice plays. We talk about a nice diving catch right there. I don't know if it would have saved a run, but it, because there were a lot of Barons around there, but it absolutely saved a base runner. Great catch.
Indeed. 2 gone. As Trevor Sut looks to continue his scoreless streak. Kamenko checks his swing. Doesn't matter. 82 is called a strike on the inside corner. Camico, a mainstay in the Oaks lineup. One of the backup catchers last year as 0-1 turns to 1-1 on the two-seamer. That is too far in, 1-1. Delivered some clutch knocks last year and has turned himself into an extra base hit threat this summer. 1-1, launched left field. This one way back, and it is off the glove of Pochi in left field into the wall. Yamashiro scores, Will Pickett scores, and how about the second double of the afternoon for Zach Camico? A 2-for-4 performance and added a couple of RBIs. It's the Barons 13 and the Oaks 4.
And you talk about in any other ballpark, you take away the wind from here at Sparky Anderson, that's probably a home run. But here at Sparky Anderson, a little bit of wind, that's a tough spot. But regardless, a big hit from Camico.
And now Aaron Suval up, and he takes 69 low. Actually going to be called a strike, 0-1.
And how about this stat, Jordan? This season, Camico, 8 hits, 4 have been singles, 4 have been doubles. And he's got 8 RBIs.
0-1 inside, a ball and a strike. A ball hit very hard for Camico, likely out of at least 50% of CCL ballparks. Hit it right into the dead zone of left center, and Pochi couldn't make the play. 2-0 turns to 2-1, a rip and a miss. Love to see that balance for Zach Camico on an off-speed pitch. We've seen him tattoo fastballs, but to wait and drill a hanging curve, that's awfully impressive. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 82 with some late life. Off day tomorrow for the Oaks. Back to the action on Friday. 2-2 pitch with 2 gone and a runner at second. And curve is low and the count is full. Oaks will have a non-CCL game later this week. Tapped and held on to by Alante Hall. And that'll be a strikeout, the second for Trevor Sutt. And though he gives up 2 runs on a hit, and
your attention, please. Now
let's start over. 2 runs, a hit, no errors, and a runner left aboard. Trevor Sutt gives up his scoreless streak, but recovers nicely by striking out Sioux Ball. Top 8 when we return, and Bailey Holbrook on the hill on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Kendall Pettis leads off for the Academy Barons. In today's game, he's reached base 3 times, part of a 1-for-2 performance with a single, a 2 RBI single to left field in the 3rd, a walk in the 1st, and a hit by pitch in the 6th. Scored both times he was given the free pass. Bailey Holbrook in to replace Aiden Dolan, who went 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk and a strikeout. Holbrook's ERA 6.76 in an inning and a third inning. In an inning and a third, he struck out 1 and walked 1. Fastball way inside at 76. 1-0 to Kendall Pettis. Logan Pollock on deck, Alante Hall behind him. Running out of sunlight here in Thousand Oaks in a 9-run ball game. We got a nail biter and the 1-0 pitch. Too low, 2-0. And when I say nail biter, I mean
9 runs.
People are focusing on their nails and not the baseball game at this point.
Yeah, I would be 2 down 9.
2-0 pitch. Too low, 3-0. But even though there's a lopsided score, we appreciate your support and for joining us on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Big day for the Academy Barons. And the 3-0. Inside and low. Ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Pettis, who's on base for the 4th time today.
Third baseman, number 25, Logan Pollock.
And here's Logan Pollock. He's also been busy, 2 for 4 with 2 singles to left field. Third baseman for this team and the Michigan Wolverine. One of 2 Wolverines on the roster. David Appleby, another. Former Oak. He threw yesterday. And a runner on first, nobody out. Holbrook looking to get in the zone. Maybe get a double play ball here. Inside on 73, 1-0. Sun setting behind us. See the shadows all over the left side of the field. Raul Sandoval battling the sun in right field as the 1-0 pitch is low, 2-0. Some action in the Conejo Oaks bullpen. Looks like it might be Angus Denton, but I'm not sure. Or Marshall Denton this year. That's what he goes by now. And now the 2-0. Strike 1. 75 and a half.
I think these teams are going to have to race to the finish, or else the umps are going to have to call this game early, about a half an hour until the sun sets, or until it gets a little bit darker.
Yeah, there's a difference between the sun setting and the game not being light enough to be played. 2-1 is fouled back 2-2. Really, sunset is not, it's too dark to play at that point.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty close.
I think we saw that barrier last week in the game against the Riptide. It was around 8:05, and I think they played maybe 5 minutes too long. We saw a play with Trent McKinney in the outfield. Not sure whether the sun made any impact in that play.
2-2 pitch, fouled off, right side. Academy Barons team, they are always entertaining. We talk about the Oaks being entertaining. Barons are entertaining because of some of the individuals on this team and how well I think they work together as a team. More on that in a second. And the 2-2 pitch. There's an off-speeder, and it's fouled off. Count still 2-2. They really like each other. And for a summer ball team, sure, every team, they have their cliques, their friends. Everybody likes each other to a certain extent, but this Barons team goes a step further. And when one's hitting, they're all hitting. They're putting together multi-hit innings. And the 2-2 plunks Pollock, and there's 2 on with nobody out. A base on balls to Pettis, and now a hit by pitch to Pollock.
And I think some of that also has to do with a lot of these guys grew up together at the MLB Youth Academy, coming through that system. And even if they didn't spend a lot of time there, they were there during the breakthrough series. So a lot of these guys are very familiar with each other, grew up together in the same system, and you kind of grow that continuity, that repartee.
Repartee? What'd you just say?
Repartee.
What does that mean?
Just look it up.
Ground ball left side. Nice play at third to second for one. Back to first. 5-4-3. A double play. Pickett's to Gomez and on to Castro. Will Pickett's picking them with ease. And there's two away with a runner on third in the top of the 8th inning.
The left fielder, number 13, Christian Pochet.
Do you mean repertoire?
No, repartee. Repartee.
It's the summer, Zach. I mean, I get a couple months off from school, and here you are.
I mean, you're out here giving history lessons.
79 is low. 1 ball, no strike to Christian Pochet. He is 0 for today. A double play in the first. Flew out to right in the third. Prior to that to second in the fourth. And a sacrifice fly in the 6th for an RBI. A ball and a strike as he fouls that one off. I think we're getting to that point, Zach, where we've been talking a while. And I know this is true for me. Sometimes I get sick of listening to myself speak. Maybe you're getting sick of it too. 1-1 outside, 2 balls and a strike.
Of listening to you talk or of listening to me talk?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Oh, well, I mean,
I could listen to you talk, Zach, into the sunset and all the way to sunrise.
I appreciate that. You as well. Until you start talking about the Lakers.
Ground ball to shortstop. Nice play. Oedekerk spins, throws onto first for the inning-ending 6-3 putout. Oaks flashing the leather at the top of the 8th inning, and Bailey Holbrook, the benefactor. No runs, no hits, no errors, a runner left. And we're on to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Barons on top, 13-4 from George Sparky Anderson Field in Thousand Oaks on the Conejo Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Oaks, the center fielder, number
Trevor
1, Justin
Sutry takes his
Ammons.
throne and is on the rubber for the bottom of the 8th inning. He'll face off against Ammons, Oedekerk, and Castro. Oedekerk, his first challenge, has 2 hits today and 3 at-bats. He also walked in the 6th inning. And the first pitch is high and away, 1-0. Ammons, pardon me, it's not Oedekerk hitting. It's Ammons, who is 1 for 3 with a single to center and a walk in the 4th. And he has broken a cold streak as the next pitch misses. Didn't get a hit yesterday against the Foresters or Sunday against the Blues. Actually, on Sunday he had a bunt base hit, but I'm not going to count that.
Stingy.
3-0 to Ammons. First real hit today up the middle of the center field. Shows bunt and pulls back and has walked on 4 pitches. It's now 3 walks in the game for Trevor Sutt, who entered the ball game.
The shortstop,
with
number 14,
4
Tyler
walks in 20
Oedekerk.
innings pitched. Tyler Oedekerk next. 2 for 3.
I'm sure it's different than.
Checks Ammons at first, who has a 2-pace lead.
No, that's not it.
Strike 1, 81.
What?
Checks the runner. Comes set at the belt. And here's the 0-1 pitch. And it's low and away. A ball and a strike. If this game is called due to darkness, and that remains a possibility, as, hold on, it looks like the catcher, Alante Hall, is dealing with something. Maybe fixing his mask. Now the 1-1 is low and away, 2-1. The game is called due to darkness. Unless the Oaks explode in this inning and make it close, I don't expect this game to be resumed at a later date. Throw to first. Ammons was leaning, but he's back in safely. But you never know with Coach Solis. He thinks any comeback is possible with this team, and
They proved him to be right, yeah.
Hard to argue with him. 2-1. Ammons goes. That's ripped to right center. Basil Williams on the run. Can't get it. And it goes all the way to the wall. Ammons will score easily from first. And now we watch Oedekerk. And he's on to third. A stand-up triple and an RBI. It's the Oaks 5 and the Barons 13. It's an 8-run game.
The first baseman, number 24, Jacob Castro.
A nice swing for Oedekerk, who has excelled in the 2 spot today. And though the score is lopsided, 13-5 is the score with the Barons on top, the Barons are only out hitting the Oaks by 2, 11-9. A strike to Jacob Castro on a backdoor breaking ball.
I mean, it's been a couple of things. First of all, the walks.
Sure.
They've been brutal. I mean, Sutz walked a few guys, but the Oaks, the combination of Matheson, Pinedo, and Bellinson.
Hard liner right side, speared by Ewell at first, and he robs Castro of what would have been his first single today.
The designated hitter, number 32,
And the first out of the frame.
Yamashiro.
Oedekerk had to hold at third. That was hit very hard. Ryan Yamashiro has reached 3 times, but he's 0 for 1 with a K. A backwards K as he was retired looking in the 4th. Has walked twice and was hit by a pitch in the 1st. And has scored a run. 67 below the knees, 1-0. On a home. Ripped left side into left field. A single and an RBI for Ryan Yamashiro. Oedekerk taps the plate. And it's the Barons 13 and the Oaks 6. Nice swing from Ryan Yamashiro, who stays hot.
Will Pickett.
And now we have Will Pickett up. Had a chance to talk with Bill Pickett earlier this week in Pasadena, the head coach at Pierce Junior College. Most recently, they had Brandon Lewis, who was a 4th-round pick to the Dodgers this year and MVP of the CCL last year. Swinging a foul, it's 0-1. So Will Pickett comes from a baseball family. And he is a baseball player in how he conducts his business and how he fields his position. 0-1. A little dink and duck fly ball. And Ewell runs out from first and makes a running catch for out number 2. Pop up to first for out number 2.
The right fielder, number 4, Raul Sandoval.
Raul Sandoval came in the 6th inning to play defense in right field after Steele Ledford was ejected. And Sandoval struck out swinging in the 7th. We see Ken Landreau on the mound with his talented righty. See if he keeps him in. 7:41 right here on the Pacific Coast. 4th of July tomorrow. All-Star break next week. NBA free agency. Major League Baseball. Great time to be alive. Women's World Cup.
Wimbledon. There's lots of golf going on during the summer.
Oh, yeah.
We're right in the middle of that sweet spot in between the majors.
Yep. British Open coming up pretty soon, I'm pretty sure.
That's why when people, I think a lot of times when basketball ends, people complain about the lack of sports because there's no football, no basketball, no hockey. There's a tons going on. WNBA, better than ever, more popular than ever. I mean, nothing's better than, some summertime baseball. I think you can agree with that.
Yeah. This is where you want to be. Sandoval takes outside 1-0. In case you're sick of us talking, we wouldn't blame you if you are. You can come out and watch Friday's game against the Ventura County Pirates at 4:30. Fly ball to shallow right. It turns around Anderson, the second baseman, but Kendall Pettis, the right fielder, charges in and makes the catch. End the inning and retire the side. But the Oaks, they strike for 2 runs. They do that on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave a runner aboard. We're on to the top of the 9th inning on the Conejo Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Top of the 9th for the Barons, the second baseman, number 1, Trent Anderson.
Trent Anderson leads off the top of the 9th inning for the Academy Barons, up 13-6 over the Conejo Oaks. Marshall Denton gets the call for the Oaks, replacing Holbrook, who after giving up a walk and a hit by pitch to lead off the 8th, erased all damage with a 5-4-3 double play and a 6-3 ground out. Anderson's been busy today. 2 hits, a double and a single, and he takes 84 away from the Arkansas Razorback. Anderson walked in the first and scored after stealing a bag. A double to left in the second and a single on the infield in the third. As the next pitch is off the plate, 2-0. Popped out in the fourth and walked in the sixth. It's been a solid game for him as the Barons hunt for their first CCL win in a long while. Roller through the left side. That's a base hit for Anderson, and now he checks in with his third hit of the game. A runner on first, nobody out for Channy Ortiz. Ortiz 0 for 3, though he's walked twice and scored 2 runs. Marshall Denton, so far this summer, has not quite been himself. A 6.75 ERA, 3 earned runs in 4 innings pitched. Line back to the screen, 0-1. 2 strikeouts, no walks yet. Saved 7 games last year for the Oaks in 7 tries, including getting the final out of the CCL championship against the OC Riptides. Swing and a miss, 77 fading away, and it's 0-2. Barons have lost 8 straight. They're 6-12 in the CCL, on their way to being 7-12. They're 7-12 overall, as they won their lone non-CCL contest. If the Oaks lose this game, they will be in last place in the CCL, and it would be their 2nd straight loss. They'd move to 7-14 in the league. Ground ball to the left side. Tough hop for Yamashiro, who is at third, to second for 1. The relay to Castro at first. 5-4-3, a double play. And when Yamashiro to Gomez and back to Castro. And there's 2 quick outs here in the top of the ninth.
Fielder number 23, Basil Williams Jr.
And I don't want to understand how tough of a hop that took for Yamashiro to handle it. It had late life, that last bounce, but he readjusted quickly, got his glove on it, fired it over. Yamashiro is great at third, he's great at first, he's great behind the plate. He's been one of the best players this summer for the Oaks.
At pitch misses, 1-0. So Pickett's out of the game, or at least out of the field. Yamashiro's at third, getting some more reps over there. And a 1-0 count to Basil Williams. Foul back to the screen, 1-1. Williams Jr. single in the first, a single in the third, and a single in the seventh, part of a 3-for-4 performance as he struck out swinging in the fifth. He also walked in the second inning. And that pitch is outside, 2-1.
What I didn't realize was there's no assigned seats, and we're on the seaboard area, so we can't, there's no chance of us sitting together.
Now the set, the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. Oedekerk fires across the diamond and gets Williams Jr. by a step 6-3. So, a leadoff single for Anderson, but that's all the Barons get. It's a race on a 5-4-3 double play. And in totality, no runs, a hit, no errors, none left. Bottom 9 when we return. 13-6 Barons on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. The Oaks need 7 to tie it and extend this ball game. It's 13-6 Barons. Trevor Sett back out for his third inning of work. So far, he's given up 4 runs to the Conejo Oaks. By far his worst performance of the summer. Starts off Ramon Gomez with a front door breaking ball for a strike. Gomez is 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging and looking. A ground out and a fly out. Fouls off the 0-1 and it's 0-2. Barons will get the 4th off and then visit Santa Barbara on Friday night before hosting the Orange County Riptide on Saturday and going to the Saints on Sunday. High chopper to third. Pollock charges. Sidearm toss to first is in time. 1 gone. So this was a big win for the Academy. 8 straight losses in the CCL, and then that's hitting matchups against the 3 top teams in the CCL. So it was important that they took care of business today, and that's exactly what they've done.
And we talked about at the beginning of the week, Jordan, the Oaks, 6 games all at home and 5 in CCL competition needing to be good this week.
Zach Kamenko takes a get-me-over strike, and it's 0-1 from Trevor Sett.
And this is not a good start to the week, a loss to the Foresters. It looks like a loss to the Barons starting 0-2 in a long stretch at home. It doesn't bode well.
High fly ball, left side, and out of play. 0-2. Kamenko has had a great game. 2 for 4, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs. Last time up, he mashed a curveball into the left center gap off the glove of Poche in left. Poche in left. The ball's 2 strikes, the pitch. Line drive left field, a 3-hit performance for Zach Kamenko. 2 doubles and now a single. How about that for Wednesday afternoon, Zach Kamenko.
Pinch hitting for the Oaks, number 36, Daniel
Right spot
Krasnick.
in a pretty dark ball game, as Daniel Krasnick now will pinch hit for Aaron Sufal. Saw Kras in the starting lineup yesterday, but he impressed with his defense, throwing out 3 runners trying to steal second. Really impressive performance by the Oaks young catcher from Hawaii. 1 away, and Kras takes a strike at 80 on the fastball from Trevor Sett. Kras is second on the Oaks in walks. Oh, 0-1 is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Krasnick 0-87 on the season with 2 hits, both of which were singles, and has 11 walks, which only trails Gabe Baldovino for the team lead. Baldovino has 18. Curveball, 67 at the knees. It's 1-2. Trevor Sett working through some struggles. He's been by far the most effective Barons reliever, but in some mop-up duty today, hasn't quite had the same pedal-to-the-metal attitude as the 1-2 misses outside, 2-2. And that's natural, right, Zach?
Well, talking to people, my understanding of Trevor Sett is if it's not a really highly competitive environment, he's going to take a little bit off the gas. And today, coming in with a massive lead, it makes sense.
2-2 swing and a miss. Krasnick strikes out on a nasty, disappearing curveball. 2 away.
The center fielder,
The
number
Oaks
1,
are
Justin
down
Ammons.
to the final out today with Justin Ammons. Ammons walked and scored last inning in the 8th. Singled in the 6th to center. Walked in the 4th. And his first 2 times up in the 1st and 3rd, grounded out to second. It's been a long ball game. Got going right around 4:30. Maybe a few ticks after. And we're approaching the 8 o'clock hour. Curve, low, 1-0. We appreciate everybody who
You come to every game, Bill?
just stuck through with us today. Not the most exciting ball game, but we've enjoyed watching these 2 teams give it their all. Ammons tattoos that ball, but it draws foul and way out of play, 1-1. Still searching for that coveted first home run of the summer. So a ball and a strike against Ammons. Center fielder out of the University of Tennessee. See if he volunteers at this 1-1 pitch. And the pitch is inside, 2-1.
I see what you did there.
Thank you. Hey, just a little play on words.
Still on your toes. At the end of this 13-6 game, we've been on the air about 3.5 hours. That's impressive.
Hey, nobody cares about us, though. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch. Backdoor curve for a strike, 2-2. 7 runs in the first inning for the Academy, and the Oaks, they haven't been able to recover from that. Barons added 4 in the third and 2 in the sixth. The Oaks 2 runs in the fourth, 2 in the seventh, and 2 in the eighth. Totaling 6. Swing and a drive, right center field. Way back, and Basil Williams falls and makes a catch in the gap to end this ball game. Incredible play by Basil Williams.
Seems like an appropriate end of this game, Jordan.
Yeah, the Oaks lost on a diving catch yesterday. They lose 13-6 on a diving catch today. The cherry on top of a complete performance for the Academy Barons. They snapped their 8-game CCL losing streak,
on July 5th.
and they move
to
7-12 in the CCL, 8-12 overall. The Oaks lose their second straight after dropping yesterday's contest to the Foresters by a score of 7-4, and they move to 7-14 in the CCL, 9-14 overall. Zach, your final thoughts on a ball game that was over really before the Oaks even swung the bat?
They got beat up, and it's going to happen. This is probably the first game all year, Jordan. I think you might agree that it feels like they just were out of from just immediately. You talk about the first inning. Reese Matheson starts off, doesn't record an out. 7 runs. He gave up 4 walks, a bunch of hits. That's a tough way to start the game, and they could never recover from that. And even ending this game, it looked like they just wanted to get out of here. They were more eager standing on the edge of the dugout to get out of this game than the Barons were. You're going to have those nights in this grind that is the summer season, and this was one of them for the Oaks. And you would hope that tomorrow, the day off, and then the game against the Pirates, they could maybe get a little rhythm, get Nico Lima back, try to kind of recover, get their mind right, because after that break, they need to go on a run if they're going to have a chance. Now, what are they, 5 games out of the playoffs to make it, 4.5 at least, to make it into the CCL playoffs, and they got a really long stretch of games coming up.
Depends what the other teams in the CCL do tonight, but certainly the Oaks not in the best position to make a postseason run, but the season far from over. The Oaks will play 4 big games this weekend, starting Friday against the Ventura County Pirates, a team not in the CCL, but a chance, as you said, Zach, for the Oaks to get their footing. And then on Saturday and Sunday, a game against the Saints. That one on Saturday, and then the doubleheader against the OC Riptide right here at Sparky Anderson on Sunday, a 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock start for those contests. We appreciate you joining us on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Big thanks to the Oaks and Coach Solis and the entire Oaks intern crew for making this broadcast possible. My partner in crime for this game, Zach Engberg. I'm Jordan Brenner signing off, and I wish you a very happy 4th of July. Have a good one.